Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world. Pull up a chair. It's time to get down to the business. Now, the reason I want to do tonight's program is because something I've been teaching you all about and explaining here since well before we started the business, but it's one of the primary reasons I started the business. There's a story that was in the news about an NFL player named Earl Thomas, and Earl was caught in bed with a number of women and his brother. Make of that what you will. But apparently him and his brother were entertaining the company of a number of different women simultaneously. And for whatever the reason was, they found themselves being caught by his wife at this Airbnb that they were renting. And she must have known something was going on beforehand because she showed up strapped and allegedly pointed a gun at this man's face. He's still alive, so clearly she didn't follow through with the implicit threat there, but she did get arrested. And a lot of people may have made, I don't know, any number of assumptions about how this was going to turn out. But how many of you figured it was going to turn out like this? Especially after you saw Ray Rice and any number of other NFL players. Take a look at how this turned out. After she gets out of jail, she goes and gets him a custom diamond chain. And I want to tell you, there are so many lessons you can learn from this. There are so many lessons. No, she is not crazy. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. She is not crazy. Not at all. As a matter of fact, I would suggest to you that she's not going crazy. She went sane. And that's the whole point of it. Some folk have tried to say that it was with his money. Well, first of all, you don't know that for a fact. That's the first thing. However, because you don't know that. I don't know how so many of you became experts on their financial situation, but okay. I don't know how you're an expert at it. Maybe I should open up the phone line so that you can explain to us how you became an expert at their financial situation. However, let's just say that that is the case. Because a lot of folks love talking from things they're not sure about. But let's just say that that is the case. It doesn't change anything. And that's what I want to discuss here tonight. Because we got to separate the boys who don't know things from the men who do. Because let me tell you something. If you know for a fact that your wife is the type of chick who will pull a gun on you if she finds you cheating, and you know she's armed, then you better be damn certain about how much pull you got if you're going to deal with this woman. And I submit to you, he was damn certain. But I want to get into the why of it here. So we're going to come back around to this. I guess I should call this an impromptu dark arts of game. So I suppose I should say, I want to welcome you to this edition of the dark arts of game because I want you to understand exactly what you're looking at here. And in this chapter, I want to instill in you a very basic lesson. The lesson I want you to understand is that women despise average. I'm going to hurt a lot of guys' feelings tonight, but women despise average. Women submit to excellence. Women do not submit to average, to mediocre, to subpar, to run-of-the-mill. That's not giving a woman something to submit to. A woman submits to excellence. And too many of you have been afraid to use that word submission, but I'm using the correct word here. A woman bows. Oh, did I say that word? Let me say it again. A woman bows and supplicates. Look it up. A woman bows and submits herself in the presence of excellence. She submits in the presence of that which is greater. And I know it's going to be a lot of dudes, you're going to try to philosophize your own lack of ability and ask dumb questions, but that's okay. It's hitting you where it hurts you because you understand. We say average or mediocre. Yeah, that's you. Oh, man. Well, let me explain what it is here. Time for you to learn why it is you get treated the way you do. So the first lesson I want you to learn is that women despise average. And before I sum it up to explain to you exactly why it is, I want you to understand what you as men get wrong about being average. The first thing that you get wrong about being average, and every woman listening to me right now is going to agree with what I'm about to say, but most guys don't understand this. Fellas, your definition of, quote, average is not her definition of average. That's going to hit some of you like a sledgehammer between the eyeballs. Your inadequacies are about to start hurting your soul. But that's the first thing I need fellas to understand. When you use that phrase, average, your definition of, quote, the average man is not a female's definition of the average man. You don't understand that, but you came to the right place to learn. Average, the way a female calculates what is average doesn't mean the, quote, average guy who approaches her. A woman's determination of average is the average guy that she wants. She might have 20 guys approach her directly or indirectly over the course of a week. But understand, she only counts the ones that she desires. Everybody else gets disregarded. Whole lot of you simps and incels and bastard babies and overgrown male baby failures. This is hurting you right now. But it's time that somebody leveled with you and gave you reality. It's hurting you right now. But let's be honest. And you don't have to be honest. The women are just going to treat you like this anyway. I'm just telling you why they do what they do. Just like women don't count. When you ask a woman for her body count of how many men she slept with, she doesn't count all of the men. She only counts the ones she wants to claim. Now, guys supposedly know this. Guys supposedly know this, but you don't behave like this in your regular life. A woman doesn't count all the men that she slept with. She only counts the ones she wants to claim. And the losers, the one night stands, the fellas that she wasn't really trying to keep, well, she doesn't count them. They were utilitarian. I don't count them. Well, guess what? That's the same as when it comes to attention. Women don't count the men that she slept with that she doesn't want to claim. She only counts the type of men that she desires as among her definition of average. And that definition of what qualifies to be average may be of a higher value than you want to accept. Case in point, you remember that a lot of females you talk to have probably had some sexual affair with a doctor or a lawyer or a banker. And even though she might have been a side chick or whatever, you should understand most women don't see those encounters that way. Fellas, women don't see these encounters the way that you do. They all believe that she could have made the relationship last if she had applied herself more or been more concerned or whatever explanation she gives herself to soothe her ego. But the bottom line is women consider even a casual sexual encounter to be prima facie evidence that she was also eligible for a more serious relationship with that man. Therefore, in her mind, he is now counted among her idea of, quote, the average guy in her social circle. And any lower value males are simply considered misguided vagrants who haplessly wandered into her presence without invitation. If you're a guy that she doesn't really want, she doesn't count you. So when you use the words average, she means something different. You're both saying the same word, but as a woman, she means something totally different than you do. She's looking at the guys that she desires and picking the average of those, not the guys who approach her. That's the point that you need to get through your head. The woman doesn't count average the way you do. Remember what I taught you in my previous video, The Dark Arts of Game, selfishness is your servant. Women are self-centered, so when she discusses men, she isn't concerned about what you think. She first and foremost starts with what she wants. Now, the other problem with when most males use the term average male, the average guy, here's the biggest mistake that you all make, if not the second biggest, the biggest mistake that you make. When you as males use the term the average guy, you're usually referring to yourself. You're looking in the mirror and saying, I am the average guy. But when a woman says, quote, the average guy, she's referring to all of the men that she has access to. So as a man, your definition of average tends to be personal. For her, the definition of the average male is global, not personal. You're looking in the mirror and defining average male against yourself, not against all of the men that she could come into contact with. So you're not seeing the world through her eyes. All right, let me give you an example here to think about here. Let's just say that you're talking about a chick. You and this chick work at Home Depot. Let's just start there. Now, as a guy, when you think about, well, I work at Home Depot, you might have some female coworkers, but you and your female coworkers are not in the same boat. If a woman works at Home Depot, then, quote, the average male that she has access to in her job isn't limited to her coworkers. That is, people employed at a hardware store. She also has access to contractors, business owners, even doctors and engineers, other high-earning professionals who come into that store. She's got access to a much broader spectrum of men than just her male coworkers. That's the point that you don't understand. But this is going to be painful here, guys. It's going to be painful. As the men who may work at that Home Depot, however, you only have access to the women at your income level. You're not going to meet any female contractors, female business owners, female doctors, female engineers. That's not happening for you. That's not going to occur. Women, simply put, have a much broader range of men that they will encounter. And that is what she considers her definition of average. Now, the other problem that we have here, in this picture on your screen is really quintessential of this, really indicative of it, is it's very hard to convince a guy that he's underachieving when he's in a place surrounded by dozens of other males in the exact same situation. When you're surrounded by a bunch of guys who are at the same level as you, well, you don't even recognize that the woman's definition of average doesn't include you. Now you've had it reinforced. You've been supported. That's the problem that you run into. Now, the reason why this is important for the underachieving and submediocre, the reason why it's important is because if you're an average guy, you're only going to qualify for an average chick. And the problem is the average female today isn't much to write home about, which is where so much of your male frustration and incel behavior originates from, with the average guy. The bottom line is there is a fundamental, primal, intrinsic reason why women hate and thus ultimately punish average. Women hate average and they punish it because a woman is looking to her man to lead her to a better tomorrow. And in today's world, a woman has total capacity and capability to match any man at what she defines as average. So if average is I work at Home Depot, well, she can match you there. Fellas, you're going to have to accept that the definition of average has changed. What qualified as above average for your father or your grandfather, that doesn't apply anymore. That's not the world you're in. So if you want to sit here like a child throwing a temper tantrum and be upset because the world has changed and you are an organism that has decided you're not going to change, just understand your frustration doesn't really sway women. It doesn't sway women. It doesn't upset women. Women are going to operate the same regardless. But a woman is looking for a man who can lead her to a better tomorrow because she can already do average. She wants a man who can take her to exceptional, not average. And she doesn't have to be taught this. She already knows this at a biological level. So even if she seemingly accepts you as average, even if she seemingly tolerates you at average, you better understand that silently, she's already calculating how to deal with her discontent. Because she's already discontent with you. Because she knows that there's something better, even if she hasn't gotten that something better to accept her, she knows it's out there. Even if she's not eligible for it, she knows it's out there. Now the babies will sit up here and whine and talk about power that you don't even have. You sitting up here talking about what you don't like in a female, that's not power. That's bastard baby babble. That's not power. Women despise average in a man because she primally understands that average is a prison sentence. It is condemning her to a life that will never evolve and never change. And as the keeper of the species, of giving birth to it, she wants stronger. Even if sometimes she is horribly misguided about it, she wants stronger. You see, as men, we are at the top of the strength pyramid. So our perspective upon making the species stronger differs in some ways from what a woman primarily feels, but she's looking for that which will make the species stronger. She's looking for physically stronger, intellectually stronger, socially stronger, financially stronger. And the reason that finance matters so much in the world that we are in is because it's something that can be concretely measured. So this idea that you can have somebody focus on what you define as average, understand that's just a self-fulfilling delusion. That's a self-fulfilling delusion. And understand you're going to have bum scholars try to sit up here and tell you that they understand the philosophy of it. Problem, they can't show you a single female who will back up what they're saying. Kevin Hart has below average height, but he's got above average social skills, above average financial acumen, above average accomplishments. So understand, average isn't defined by you, it's defined by them. And this concludes tonight's edition of the Dark Arts of Game. Now, before we go any further here, there was an incel in the chat room. I don't have any problem confronting that. There was an incel in the chat room. He's upset. He's mad. He's spazzing out. It hit him where he lives. He's got a life of failure. Listen to what he said. Oh, yes, I'm going to put you on Front Street, nigga. I'm putting you on Front Street. I'm going to take my power back and unsubscribe for this channel. Problem, he hasn't unsubscribed yet. I'm a young black man. In other words, I'm a failure whose daddy wasn't there. I have a bastard baby-making mama. No one's prepared me for the real world. I'm a young black man, and I've been furloughed from my job in the midst of this pandemic. How pathetic is that? I'm a young black man, and I've been furloughed from my job in the midst of a pandemic. This man won't even show his face. Howard! I'll show him. I'm going to tell you all my pity story. And that will neutralize and invalidate everything that this Jason Black is saying. All right, to the fellas in the room who don't want to be a humiliated, pathetic failure like that fella, I got one question I want to ask right now. To the ladies in the room, to the females listening right now, to the females listening. Ladies, I want you to type into the chat room. Now that you've heard this guy sit up here and say that he doesn't like what I'm saying because he's been laid off and furloughed since the corona pandemic, ladies in the chat room and ladies listening live or recorded later, tell me, do you all feel more attracted to him now that he said that? Do you all feel that I, Jason Black, am more insensitive, unworthy of being listened to, that I'm unreasonable? And do you women listening, now that you heard him say that, do you feel more sympathetic? Do you feel more attracted to him now that he said that? I want you to put it in front of the women and see if the women are willing to live with your weakness. Ladies, do you feel more sexually attracted to him now that he's told you he's a young black man and he's going through some things and it ain't working for him right now and he feel bad and he don't want to hear this because this reminded him about what he ain't getting? How many women listening to me right now are like, you know what, Jason, you being too hard on him. You need to be more sympathetic. You need to be more empathetic. You need to listen to him. You need to take it easy. Because I personally am attracted How many women are sitting up here saying to themselves that you're attracted to him because he's showing you his vulnerability, because he is admitting to you his failures and his weakness? How many of the women listening right now are saying, I really would trust him as my leader, even though he has just admitted to me that he feels like a failure? I'm actually more attracted to him because he has admitted that he's failing. And he is demanding sympathy. How many of you ladies listen to me right now? The whole chat room is blown up with a bunch of no's. You know why? Because as I just explained, the woman understands I'm going to have to live with your weakness. And I know I can find somebody who ain't this damn weak. She doesn't care that you lost your job. She doesn't care that you've been furloughed. She doesn't care that there's a global pandemic from China, Timbuktu, or Mars. She can't submit to a helpless male. She can only submit to strength. She's not concerned that there is a problem. She wants to know, what's your solution? And you're telling her, ain't no solution. And she's saying to herself, I betcha the doctor who comes into my job at Home Depot every 2 weeks, I betcha he's got a solution. Oh, I know I'm just laying down raw, abrasive, uncut, unfiltered brutality. I know I'm doing that. I know I'm doing that. Fellas, somebody else will lie to you. That young man, his whole family's been lying to him. But I'm just telling you what the women really think. She's not gonna tolerate sitting in failure for any real length of time if she's got another option. And you sit up here and get mad and these hoes ain't loyal. No, women are not loyal to men. They are loyal to masculinity. Did you catch that? Women are not loyal to a man. She is loyal to masculinity. And in a woman's mind, masculine is defined as strength. So you attempting to coerce her into accepting your weakness as the definition of masculine, you just dropped off the meter of average. If you were above average, she has now demoted you to at best average and at worst below average. Women are actively looking for that which they can submit to. How can she submit to that which is weaker than she is? She doesn't even have a frame of reference to do that. And a lot of you guys want to sit up here and talk crap and pretend. But let's just be clear. If we compare you to the last fella that she was with that you want to say was below you, you're going to find out that, there actually isn't a whole lot of difference. There actually isn't. It's not that you're doing more than the last guy she was with. It's just that, I just want to be on my, I just want them to submit to something different. That's all. I just want them to submit to something different. That's all I want. I'm not trying to do better than these guys. I want for you to just allow me to be sub-mediocre. I'm not going to do more for than anybody else. I'm not going to produce more than anyone else. I just want you to give me benefits for being mediocre also. Can I get that too? And then you find out, they're not on board to do that either. So what I'm going to do here, because we've had some individuals in the chat room who are dealing with their incelness, and I understand that, we're going to give them an opportunity to go ahead and call up here so they can let everybody know exactly what it is they have to say. And this will be important. So go ahead and tell them that the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933, your personal access code to the business. Because you have to understand here, a lot of them, fellas, you got to understand, no female is really sitting up here turned on by your ability to sit up here and dispute nonsense. She's not really looking for that. That's not a turn on. She ain't cracking for it. That's not doing anything for her. So while you're sitting in chat rooms bawling and complaining and whining and mewling, just be aware that doesn't do anything for her. I mean, seriously, it doesn't. Now, to the fellas who don't want to be living like that, you're the guys I can talk to about it. I have no problem. I will give you the game and you can understand what you're dealing with. To the fellas who understand that. To the fellows who understand that. I want to get back to Earl Thomas here in just a moment. I want to get back to Earl. Before I do, I'm going to take a caller from area code 312. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Daniel, and I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Daniel from Chicago. And what's on your mind?
I agree with you 100%. What you're saying about the average guy and how women don't respect failure. My own mother told me this out of her mouth as a kid growing up. And right now I'm currently paralyzed, and I'm getting myself back together now. And she always told us that though. What you just said. She told us that since a kid that a man's supposed to be on his P's and Q's because women don't respect failures.
Let me ask you a question here. Let me ask you a question here, brother. How did you end up paralyzed? Because it sounds like you said you ended up paralyzed. How did that happen?
I got a bullet in my spinal cord, and it's still stuck in my spinal cord. It's impacted by bone.
Okay. Very sorry to hear that. How did you end up with a bullet in your back?
Last year, probably, I got paralyzed. I was shocked. So I got paralyzed last year in March, and I was on my way to the barbershop, and there was a car started shooting at some other guys, and I got caught up in the crossfire. Okay. And I got shot in both of my legs, and the last bullet hit me in the hip, but the bullet traveled upwards because how my body was positioned, because they were shooting from a half a block away.
Okay.
So when I got hit in my lower hip, the bullet traveled upwards, and it hit me in the T7 spinal cord. So the bullet is still in the spinal cord, which is why I'm completely paralyzed. I don't have no feeling.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Let me ask you here, were you totally surprised that happened at that barbershop?
No, I was walking to the barbershop. I got shot on the streets. I was on my way to the barbershop.
Okay, were you totally surprised for that to have happened in that neighborhood?
No. I'm just surprised that it happened to me because I wasn't an intended target.
And there's a lesson for us to learn there. Number one, bullets don't have a name, but here's the real thing. It doesn't invoke any greater sympathy either. I mean, folks will be sympathetic with you for a little while when you're in a hospital and is he going to make it and so on and so forth. But as soon as you get out the hospital, I think you found out for yourself, it soon flips to, all right, nigga, what you going to do? It's not really going to be a bunch of coddling.
Most definitely, because I was in the hospital for about 4 months. And so once I was in the hospital, because they thought I was going to be paralyzed from the neck down. So the hospital couldn't determine yet, but I'm currently paralyzed from the chest down. So I'm a T3, T4 complete injury. So I'm completely paralyzed with no feeling below my chest. And I did went through some mental challenges while I was in the hospital. But once I got out the hospital, and my mom, she's in the medical field, so she worked in a nursing home, so she is a CNA. So, so the whole idea of her and my girlfriend at the time had to wipe my behind and had to clean me up and stuff like that. I really hate that idea. And right now, I can actually put my own clothes on. I can wipe my own behind. I could cook my own food, so I could basically live independent. So now, because me personally as a man, I don't want nobody to wipe my own back. I don't want nobody to wipe my behind or none of that. It's something with that idea. I hate that with a passion. So I had to learn how to reuse my body again. Learn how to use certain things So, and my mom, she's the type that she wasn't going for that sympathy stuff. So she like, hey, you have to learn how to do this on your own, and which is I was prepared for it anyway. So, and I told her, I said, hey, I don't want nobody to take care of me for the rest of my life. That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. I don't want to.
Now
I don't want to.
We had a caller. We had a guy in the chat room earlier. I'm sure he's a young fellow who he would basically be in the situation that you were in before, with folk having to tend on him hand and foot and expecting that, because woe is me. And by the way, here's the real issue. Now, here's what a lot of folk are not going to understand. This brother on the line right now, if he had decided he wasn't going to do that, he's got a fully justifiable reason. I'm not even going to use the word excuse. But if he wanted to just give up, he's got a fully logical, rational, justifiable reason to say, to hell with it. I can't walk. I'm messed up in the game. Big life change. Some of these are going to be permanent. It's never going to get any better. He's got a completely legitimate reason. What makes him a man is that he didn't let those legitimate reasons stop him. That's the difference. It isn't that his reasons aren't legitimate. It's that for somebody else, that would have been their excuse to say, well, I don't have to do better. And he was like, what makes him a man is I'm still overcoming obstacles. I'm still getting stronger. A woman can respect that. As a matter of fact, she's going to have no choice but to respect that. He might be in a wheelchair, but he's getting stronger. And that's what defines an alpha. What defines an alpha is power. Is he getting weaker or is he getting stronger? Yeah, you can knock him down, but can you keep him down? He got knocked down, but you couldn't keep him there. And now he has created the most powerful thing that a man can have in the presence of a woman: uncertainty. Now, you remember I've taught you all about this. Uncertainty. When a woman feels certain about your position in your situation, she's going to leave. If she feels uncertain, then she's going to stick around and say, well, let me see how this turns out, because I'm not sure what's going to happen. Now, if she decides she's sure what's going to happen, that's the only reason they leave. But if they're uncertain, it's a different matter. It's a different matter.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
Well, brother, I thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. I think that's a very inspiring story here. There's a lot that folk can learn from it, because being able to walk is a great thing and everything like that, depending on where you're walking to. But having a spirit that can't be broken, that's the kind of thing that really resonates. And I hope that a lot of these other guys listen to that.
What I was about to say, that's probably, and to be honest with you, by me having that spirit in me, that's why that, my girlfriend's still with me, and and other people and there's other women who's, you know, I got to still have other female friends or whatever. But that's why the woman I'm with right now, she's still with me because, huh?
Imagine that. Now, I think I said before, it creates uncertainty. A woman isn't liable to leave if there is uncertainty. And oh, by the way, he also got other females that he's got an option to. Women recognize weakness, but they also recognize strength when they see it. So thank you for confirming that.
Yeah, because she was watching me because when I got in this situation, you know, I mean, of course she broke down, she cried when I got in this situation, but, you know, once I got out the hospital and had to readjust myself, and if I had that strength in me, I knew for a fact she was going to leave. You know, and that's just being 100 though. So, and I always, and I don't care what situation I'm in, but ain't nothing finna get me down though. So, yeah. So I've been watching your program. I've been listening to you because, and I agree with damn near everything you said because it's never been broke down in that context before. You know, so yeah. I
want everyone to remember that a woman would rather have an alpha male in a wheelchair than a beta male or a simp walking around. Now that's the reality. She can see the spirit on you. She'd rather have an alpha male in a wheelchair than a beta who can run around the damn block scared of his own shadow. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, brother. Please do give us a call here again. I've instructed another couple of folks in the chat room there who have had questions to give us a call up. If they don't, they'll be leaving sooner than they think, which suits us either way. Fellas, the clock is ticking. Caller from area code 404, you're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Jason, what's going on, man? It's your brother Mac in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mac in Atlanta, what's on your mind?
Oh man, I'm just loving the show. Definitely, I really feel it's about time that this perspective really came out, and more so where you're not coming from that thirsty guy who had a hard time getting women standpoint of view, and that's probably why you'll get a lot of resistance because that seems to be the norm with a lot of these guys, especially in your chat.
Well, you got to understand, brother. I mean, after 2 decades of bastard baby makers raising these boys, all a lot of these fellas can really do is tantrum. I mean, that's the way they've been taught. And that works for females. Females can throw tantrums because as men, we're supposed to disregard tantrums. That's what we're supposed to do. So the women over here, women can afford to throw tantrums because nobody's really looking for them to solve the issue. But as a man, these overgrown boys are not familiar with the idea that we expect them to give solutions. And once we say, okay, you have to have a solution, hell no, I don't need no solution. You just need to take me the way I am. He's expressing to you, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And I'm upset and angry and insecure because y'all are telling me I need to be ready. And I'm looking for a female who will do for me what my mama did. I'm looking for a female to continue the continuity of coddling that my mama did. Don't make me feel bad. Pat me on the back and burp me. If something goes wrong, you don't tell me to get up, which is what your father does. Because as men, we got no tolerance for that. If your son is seriously hurt, we help our son get up. But if your son is not hurt, he's throwing a tantrum as a male, we see that he is regressing into his babyhood. At a certain point, we've got no more tolerance for babyhood. You need to move forward. We leave that babyhood behind. You see, when you were 2 years old and you stumbled down, we let you cry for a minute. You're 4 years old and you stumbled, and now it's still the same crying. You're regressing. And now I am doing my job as a man and saying, there won't be any regression. Because as a woman, if you regress, the fallback position is the man. As a man, if you regress, ain't no fallback position. There's nobody for you to consort or resort to if you don't hold the line. That's the difference. That's what makes us leaders.
Very true.
That's why when we talk about manhood, it is synonymous with leadership. We are the fallback position. There isn't another one to fall back to. And with grown-ass men, and if you're over 18, you're grown. Well, if you're over 21, you're definitely grown. Sitting up here whining for sympathy. Listen to what I can't do. Why is it I can't be average? Why you expecting more of me? Why I got to do more than that? Why can't you take me the way I am? That's this tantrum garbage. And a woman biologically is starting to gain contempt for you. Biologically, she has no choice but to start developing contempt because she sees that in herself. She recognizes when she's throwing a tantrum. She's like, and what's the first thing a female will say? Brother, you're how old are you?
I just turned 40.
Okay, well, you already know then. Brother,
oh yeah, it's old school pimping over here, bro.
When you and me tell a female about something she's doing, like throwing a tantrum or being catty, what does she tell us? Well, I'm a girl.
Exactly.
That's her answer.
That's what I'm supposed to do. I my feelings.
She doesn't try to. She doesn't try to debate you. She doesn't try to justify. She's like, well, hell yeah, I'm a girl. That's what we do. Now, as men, we don't get to say, I'm a guy. That's what I do. We have to lead. But a female, when you call them on that, she's going to tell you, well, yeah, I'm a girl. That's what I do. When she recognizes that behavior in you as a guy, she's not going to try to break you of it. She's going to be like, oh, hell, you acting like me. And you can't sit up here and say to her, well, it's okay when you did it. We got grown men looking at women talking about it's okay when she did it. And then can't figure out why she don't want to fool with you anymore. It's like, nigga, yeah, I'm a girl. I'm supposed to do that. You're a guy. You're acting like me. That's no different than if the brat squares off on you in public. It's like, wait a minute, you acting like a whole dude over here.
And one thing that resonated as well was how you said earlier, where you don't necessarily, because, and without giving out too much information, but there's been, these quote unquote guys who think they're in the position of power, but they're really beta males, and those are the guys. They're females. I usually can have my way with them, and they go right back to them. I'm one of the guys where they come and dibble dabble, have their little joy, fun, fantasy, give them that excitement, that spontaneity that they're not getting in their relationship, and then they go back to the man that they can control. And I was always told that was a problem, that you're never you're gonna always be a problem, because women always gonna try to control you, and they can't control you.
Correct. And here's the issue, brother. When a woman is discontent with a man, she's not gonna tell him I'm discontent. She's gonna just start looking for or leaving herself open to your replacement. She's not gonna have, if you're lucky, she will make an announcement, or y'all will have a fight about something. But if she's discontent, she's not gonna try to give you manhood lessons. She's gonna be like, is you gonna fix this or is you not? And if she becomes certain that you can't fix it, then she goes and starts holding auditions for your replacement. It is what it is. I'll let you have the last word.
No, you just, like I said, definitely appreciate the perspective. It's, about time a lot of men out here get this, cold, hard reality on how to really, conduct themselves as men, especially when they're out here engaging with women. Because, as the time that's going on right now, we as men, we need to become, more leaders, and that's, starts with refining ourselves and becoming better men and on our own behalf. So, it's just like, when we're here, looking like we subservient and, can't make decisions and, have all this indecisiveness, which, typically are female traits. You know, I don't want to upset your female demographic listening group, but you know, usually those traits reside in females. So we need more of this standpoint, and you know, this whole cold hard truth that you're putting in these young black men's face, because right now is the time, no time for games. So I appreciate you for your message and your work.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again. Let me get caller from area code 917. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, how you doing, Jason? I saw your documentary, Race War, in New York City. I was motivated, but
glad to hear
I feel
that.
like you're a little bit wrong.
What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, sorry, Cassius. I'm Cassius, call from New York City. I'm a comedian.
Cassius
I'm not
from New York. Congratulations.
I'm pretty average, but.
What borough are you from, Cassius?
Oh, I'm from Queens.
Queens, okay. I didn't sound like a didn't sound like a Brooklyn accent, so I was like, okay, where's this cat from?
All right, so here's the thing. All right, you say average is bad. Are we saying average is bad right now? Is it Joe Biden average? There's average NBA players. There's averages to everything. So how can we say average is bad? I don't get it.
Were you listening at all to the beginning of the program?
Correct. I see what you're saying in terms of like women. Cause my women, I've got to be honest. My women kind of resent me for thinking average is exceptional, but I just don't get it. Like why can't someone be average and make $60,000 a year and people be happy?
Okay.
It seems like people are happy from afar, but not up close. You say no, you're average. I don't like it.
Okay. First of all,
some women say they like it.
First of all, we're talking about the schism between most males' definition of quote average and of average guy, and the female's estimation of average guy. A female's estimation of average guy is going to be quote the average of the men that she desires that she has access to, not every male walking the street who approaches her. I explained that before, but I'm repeating it again. It's dependent upon her of the men that she actually desires, the average among the men that she actually desires. That is average. Now, if you're in that pool, that's different. But what you're describing is not that. You're describing every male out there. No, that's not what a woman considers to be average guy.
Can I ask you a question? Does my average, does it correlate with my financial state? Or can it be something more?
Does it correlate in your what state?
Financial state. I'm a little bit excited.
Okay. You're going to have to accept, well, first of all, Cassius, how old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay, you're 31.
Yeah.
Now, Cassius, I want you to understand something here. There are many lies that men like to feed themselves when they're young, and they like to feed themselves many misconceptions. Understand something. Women understand something that we don't want to accept. A woman can't eat your potential. She can't wear it, and she cannot take pride in a man's potential. She can only take pride in a man's accomplishments. And this.
But Cash, your question?
Okay, Cash, you're asking questions. I'm answering, and then you start talking again. So that's not good. Sorry. What I'm saying is that we can't keep demanding that women take pride and esteem in our potential, because that eventually that becomes a con game where you stretch her for 10 damn years waiting for potential that simply isn't coming. For every rapper with a record deal, there are 3,000 or 4,000 aspiring rappers sitting in their homeboy's basement studio that never did a damn thing. That's the problem with telling a woman that she cannot look at your financials, because you're telling her, don't look at my financials, because my financials are something that we can measure that is not open to interpretation. You either got it.
You mentioned character.
Cassius, I'm going to get to character. I'm going to get to character. But the reason that so many guys try to circumvent finances is because he understands he's running the game, and he doesn't want her to measure him by something that is tangible and not open to interpretation. You're either winning or you're losing. And most guys want the women. Don't count that over there. Cassius, you start talking a lot. I'm answering all your questions. I really am.
Correct.
This is not a I'm just going to tell you right now. There's females will tell you this is not a sexy trait. It's really not.
Yeah,
Fellas want to divert attention from financials because that tells us whether or not you are succeeding in the world. Now, a man doesn't have to make $1 million a year to be succeeding, but if he's making $10,000 a year, he's failing. Now, that's a reality. That's just a stone cold reality. You don't have to be making millions to be succeeding, but if you're making $5,000, $10,000 a year, you're failing. And your woman can do better than failure. She can do better than struggle. And she's going to show you with her actions. Now, character is a wonderful thing. Problem, most guys, when they invoke that term, they invoke it for the purposes of running the game. Because character is going to manifest itself in every area of your life. So if you think that character is going to be an offset or a substitute for succeeding, I assure you it's not. You might cultivate your own pet definition of character thinking, well, this will be a substitute for succeeding. No, if your character includes failure, then you've got bad character. So yeah, you can have character. You can have good character. You can also have bad character. And if you're failing, you got bad character.
But I guess my main critique is, in the broadcast a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned the Clorox in Atlanta offices, and you mentioned how the people working for the Clorox company were failing. So I don't get it. I guess I'm still a little bit lost to a degree.
Okay. Let me try this a different way, brother, in a way that I think you'll understand at 31 years old. Are you in the same place in life at 31, financially, socially, and mentally and emotionally, that you were when you were 21?
No, I'm not.
Okay, are you in a worse place?
I'm in a better place. I have my own apartment, have my own car.
Okay.
I'm paying bills.
Now,
correct.
All right. Now that Now that I've asked you that question, you can probably predict where I'm going.
Okay.
What's the problem with that Clorox plant in Atlanta, as I explained it previously in light of the question you just asked? Now that I've said that to you, what's the problem I have with that Clorox plant now?
All right, but okay, I see what you're saying, but
okay, explain it. No, but explain it to me. Explain it to me. What's the problem?
Okay, all right, it's a pandemic. We need Clorox wipes. We need solution. We need all these products, and these people at these plants haven't produced these products. It's just all they did was stay stagnant at the plant. I get it.
They are in the same place they were a decade ago. That's the problem.
But is that bad? Being in the same place 10 years later, is it necessarily horrible? Sorry, but I have to ask. Is it necessarily horrible?
Okay, I'm asking you. If you were in the same place you were in at 31 that you were at 21, would that be bad?
Yeah, but I guess the problem.
Okay, now he just said yeah, but. He just said yeah, but.
Yes, because 21 to 31, but 31 to 40, I guess 41 to 50 is a huge difference. I'm trying to understand.
No, there's no difference. Your life is supposed to continually. Do you not believe that your life is supposed to be continually evolving and improving?
Correct.
Okay, then I don't understand what
these
questions.
Because you give advice to truck drivers, and yeah. Correct.
Right, but okay, where are these questions coming from then?
But I guess the problem I'm having is the quote unquote average. The way you use the word average, is it supposed to be? Is it supposed to be assaulting? I guess I'm looking at it.
Okay, let's try this. Let's try this a different way. Let's try this a different way. You said that you are an aspiring comedian, correct?
I've been doing comedy for a few years.
Okay. Let me ask you a question then. What type of comedian do you aspire to be, and why? Do you aspire to be a mediocre which is average comedian, or do you aspire to be a great one?
A great one.
Okay, in light of all the questions you just asked, why?
But is average, I guess the question I'm asking
I
is,
asked him a question, he's asking me a question. I asked you a question.
Sorry.
In light of everything you just said about the virtues of being average, why do you not aspire to be an average comedian?
Because there's more. There's more out there.
Okay, there's more out there such as?
Accolades, finances.
Okay, but not just accolades and finances. If I get a room full of 100 people together and only 50 of them laugh at your joke, and then I get Dave Chappelle and 95 people laugh at his jokes, one of you is a comedian, the other one is the joke.
But does it have to be? Why can't we? I guess I'm asking, why can't we both be? Why can't you just be a better one?
Okay, then what you're trying to argue is that we should annihilate the definition of average, and that's not going to happen. Average is a mathematical thing. That's not a matter of opinion.
Correct.
So the better question is, why do you keep trying to argue to destroy the definition of average? What do you think you're going to gain out of that?
I guess I'm trying to wonder if I guess where is the word average heading? Because
Okay.
you say average.
You should never want to be average.
Necessarily an insult. It's necessarily an insult.
No,
feels like-
average is an insult to females. Now, she's not going to tell you that. She's just going to show you with her actions. But the bottom line is, you just made the argument for why average is unacceptable ultimately. You should not aspire.
No.
Average is not something you aspire to. Do you understand that?
So you're saying it's somewhere where you land. If you land somewhere average,
You might be
it's not your
average.
fault.
You might be average, but average is a choice. Now, why would anyone aspire? I'm asking a question. Why would anyone aspire to be average?
but is it necessarily inspiration? Or
You all
is it,
notice every time I ask him a question, he starts asking more questions. This is not a sexy trait to females.
Okay, let me ask. I guess I guess circumstances, a lot of failure.
Okay, why shouldn't a man aspire to be excellent?
Forms of fair.
What was that?
Fair, you like fair. I said fair.
Okay, I asked a question. Why shouldn't a man aspire to be excellent?
Why? I'm assuming that, like I just said it fair. Like if you have a lot of fair, if you fearful, you can't necessarily aspire to be excellent if you're fearful.
Okay, but I'm asking you, because you keep arguing about why isn't average acceptable. That begs the question, well, why would we not desire to be excellent?
But do we always desire
Okay.
excellence? I
Brother.
guess that's the question I'm asking.
Brother, here's the issue, okay? Every time you're
Yeah.
asked a question to explain what you mean, the next thing you do is start asking more questions. Please understand, females don't find that sexy, they just find it annoying. And men don't find that to be inquisitive, they just find it to be pointless. You talk in circles, but you don't actually arrive at any sort of solution. So it's one thing to call somebody and just want to converse. I guess this isn't even conversing, this is interacting. It's another thing to call because you want to get knowledge. You have spent the entirety of this phone call simply asking questions. And it becomes like the little kid who asked, Why is the sky blue? And then you say, well, because sunlight going down. Well, because the sun goes down. Why? Well, because it moves one side of the earth. Why? Well, because the earth rotates.
I guess
why? And that's what you just keep doing. At no point do you express, okay, I got it.
I guess I'm trying to figure out if you say average is stagnant. If average is stagnant, then it's
okay.
bad.
I say that. Whoa! I say that, or you said that.
I think that. I personally think that.
So you said that average is stagnant, and I agree with that. So why would any woman?
Bad, I think it's another.
Why would any woman desire to stagnate?
But are all women demanding more?
Yes.
Most
women desire more, which is what confounds so many young men today, is they're upset that the women want more, and that sometimes women will be cutthroat about getting more. That doesn't really need to be explained, but okay.
So if a woman want more, from me, I'm asking myself that, is that bad? Is that, yeah, it is bad. It's not bad. It's a natural female trait.
Okay, I don't understand what the problem is.
The problem I'm having is the way you use the word average. I just felt like, wow, is that the direction we're going in? I just felt like, wow, that's insane. So I guess that's where.
Okay.
Because in your last program you mentioned the $50 whole. You mentioned, I think, in the $50 whole economy with Stacey Dash, you mentioned, hey, she's a failure now. And it's like, is she really a failure? Is this person a failure now?
That wasn't the point I made. That wasn't the point that I made. The point that I made was that
correct.
Females today, what qualifies as being above average today is $50 damn. So it is nonsensical and irrational to even have a conversation about complaining about what is average in a world where $50 extra of disposable income makes you above average.
Correct.
How can this even be a discussion when I explained, and clearly you didn't get it, so let me reiterate it now. The point was, this is a Hollywood starlet who $50 is all you need to be above average for her. And she is one among many. If you got another zero on that 50 for $500 of disposable income, you really qualify for pretty much anything you want. Why would there possibly be a single male complaint about being above average when 50 is the starting price? How is this even a discussion?
Well, I guess the issue, I guess I bring it back to character. If I say to myself, be a better person, does it necessarily correlate back to the finances?
Okay, now you're trying to get.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, that's a philosophical argument. You usually hear poor folks or underachieving people try to tell you that, well, rich people have less character. Meanwhile, some of the most lying, backstabbingest, unscrupulous, dishonorable people you know are poor.
Okay, let me ask you this question. I have to ask, because you are the Black authority. If I become a teacher tomorrow and I make about $40,000, am I a bad person?
No, if you are a teacher making $40,000 and 5 years from now you're making $40,000, then we probably need to examine your character. I already explained this. If you stagnate, then that's going to be a problem. Where you start isn't the question. Where you're going is the question. And if this boat ain't going nowhere, then there's a problem.
All right. That's understandable.
So, in the meantime here, like I say, being average, there's a reason why women do not appreciate it, because they understand it's not going anywhere. And as men, if we want to lose their respect quicker than anything else, promise them a life that's going nowhere. Thank you for giving us a call here tonight. Fellas, that's not sexy. Women don't appreciate a bunch of questions going in circles, especially if they're not questions that are elevating. Come on, guys, let's get it together here. Let me get caller from area code 202. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is JT calling from DC.
JT from DC. What's on your mind?
I'm glad the caller before me is a comedian or entertainer. I work in personal security, and what that brother's got to understand, like you said, if he's an aspiring comedian, if he's looking to be anything as far as a Kevin Hart or a Will Smith or anyone just being in entertainment, brother, you got to look to be more than just average. The women that are looking to get these brothers that are making millions of dollars, that are looking to have someone, personal security, look after their wife, you're just going to be average. You're never going to get that, bro. Those women are never going to look to be with you at all.
And it depends on if that's what you want. Now, like I say, for the guy who wants an average chick, wants a mediocre chick and a mediocre life and mediocre levels of respect from people, I that's real easy. Just keep doing what you're doing. You don't even have to talk to me. If you want more than that, then let's chop it up. I'll let you have the last word.
Exactly. When he says character, man, that's just not going to hold weight in any situation for more than 3 months, man. Your character is just something that'll get you by in a few conversations. She'll realize you're not about anything and move on as everyone else will. Again, B1, I listen to you quite often, and keep doing your thing.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 516. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jason. My name is Joseph. I'm calling from California.
Joseph, where at in California?
I'm actually in Orange County, about an hour from L.A.
Okay, out in Orange County. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I got a question for you. I guess as far as being average, I would say as far as being I guess the alpha, being assertive when it comes to females, I think I would say I'm not necessarily fully there. So, is there any tips or any way you can help me be more sort of putting my foot down and saying this is the way I want things to be? Because I feel like that's where I'm kind of lacking in a way.
Okay, first thing I would ask you is, what do you want out of life?
You mean our life in general, or when it comes to females specifically?
Okay, that's not a good answer. Let's try this again. What do you want out of life?
Well, I want to be successful. Financially, I think I'm doing not too bad. And as far as females go, I want a female, like I said, to be submissive. But I don't know if I should look for a female that's just automatically submissive, or kind of some females are a little bit, they have a lot of attitude and back talk. So a way to combat that would be more assertive.
No.
So I don't know if I should go for it.
Okay.
No?
Here's what. First of all, let me ask you, how old are you?
31.
Okay, another 31-year-old fella. These guys, by the way, folks, Steve Harvey was right about one thing: is men in our teens and 20s is about chasing females, but when we hit 30, especially as black men, a switch flips and it becomes about mastery of your life, getting your money together. So that's why you're getting so many of them calling. Now, I want you to understand, what you want out of life is holistic, but what people expect from you is holistic also. So let me just try it like this instead. Your life is the house. The garage is what the world expects of you, or what you can expect from the world. Let me try it like that instead. Your life is the house. The garage is your way of signaling to the world what you expect. Now, you can have a garage that's got one car. You can have a garage that is 6 feet tall. You can have a garage that is 15 feet tall and 4 bays. But understand, somebody driving up to your house and taking a look at the garage, they can see what is expected of them. So if they come driving up in their Fiat 500 and your garage has got is a 4-car garage with 15-foot tall doors, they're immediately going to be like, wow, I need to step my game up if I'm going to keep parking here. It just intrinsically, they're going to feel that. That's what your life is supposed to be. You don't have to tell them to bring a bigger car. When they drove up to your house, they can see, oh, this is the expectation. And then they have to decide for themselves, do I wish to keep coming here? But they're not going to respond to a garage that you ain't built. There's nothing to respond to. So first and foremost, don't focus on the women. Focus on yourself, the house, the garage, and the rest of the world will respond to it. Because you're not going to get submission to a garage that ain't there. You're not going to get civility to a house that's not there. You're not going to get housekeeping to a house that isn't there. You have to build the structure, which is your life first. And whatever it is you want people to do, that structure needs to speak that. You don't go demand it of them. You build the structure. The structure does the demanding. That's it.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense.
And by the way, that's a great segue back to what I want to discuss here, which is why I started this program about Earl Thomas. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Earl Thomas, like it or not, ladies, I gave it to the fellas, but I got to blow the cover on the game. Earl Thomas let his woman know what it's going to be. And the fact that she came with a strap tells you, this wasn't his first time. But she had a choice to make. She had a choice to make. Bottom line is he ain't average. He has given her an above average life. But an above average life comes with a bill. Now, a lot of fellas out here are trying to figure out how they can get above average benefits, but you're a mediocre nigga. Can I say that? Can I say it like that? Ladies, am I allowed, fellas, am I allowed to use that type of language? Am I allowed to just say it like that? All these dudes want above average submission, but they ain't offering above average benefits. You a mediocre nigga. You gonna get mediocre benefits. That's what it's gonna be. If you, this fella here, how much flossing and how much flexing do you really think you gonna be able to do? Fellas, it's time to have a come to Jason moment. Fellas, if you're one of these fellas in this picture, do you realize something? You're one among many. You're one among many. You ain't built nothing. There's nothing for her to submit to. You're mediocre. You're a face in a crowd. Do you think he's going to get submission? Do you think he's going to get above average benefits? It's time for you to be straight with yourself. Well, Jason, the thing is, you got to understand the broke booty niggas are going to be jumping up trying to philosophize. Well, Jason, you don't understand. See, what it is Earl Thomas, he in the NFL and he paid for the Ravens and he got the bag like that is what it is. You don't understand. He got the bag like that. So that necklace his woman bought, that's where his money. Yeah, you know what? You might be right. You just might be right. That necklace that she bought him, which is hella expensive, might just be with his money. Aight, nigga, what's your point? The necklace might be with his money, and the car, the Range Rover they in, might be with his money, and that big-ass $3 million house is probably bought with his money too. And that's the reason that he expects to be able to spend the weekend with 3 or 4 chicks naked. And let's just be honest, fellas. Ladies, can we just be honest for a moment? He wasn't having sex with all them women. He wasn't. Every woman listen to me right now, you know damn well he was not having sex with, he's in a room with 5, 6 women with his brother. They just hanging out. He's really just hanging out. Let's just be honest. He's just hanging out. And he was just feeling himself. Ladies, you know it. He's at an Airbnb. He didn't even take him to a penthouse. We just hanging out. He's feeling himself. You see, when women want to get a bunch of random attention from a bunch of random men, they go on Facebook and they can get a bunch of random attention. So you feel some kind of way when a man is able to get a bunch of random attention from a bunch of women to bloat his ego. Women are used to going on Facebook and putting up some raggedy ass, she's a 6, putting up a raggedy ass picture of herself, and she can get a lot of thirsty attention. Women aren't accustomed to a man being able to get thirsty attention from females. He was just in the room with him. He just wanted to prove he could do it. I'm just hanging out for the weekend. I just want to prove I can do it. I ain't sleeping with all these broads. But I'm feeling myself this weekend. Ain't nothing going on. The damn season's basically been canceled. We don't even know if there's going to be a NFL season next year. I play for Baltimore. It ain't like we're in contention for a title. I play for Baltimore. I play for Baltimore. It's the weekend. I brought my damn brother. We just hanging out. Hey, nigga, watch. I can get all these hoes naked. All 6 of them. Watch. If he was sleeping with one of them, it was just one of them. The rest of them are just sitting on the bed watching, smoking weed, amusing themselves. But he ain't doing nothing with all of them. But she had to flex. Understand, the gun was not for him. Do you all understand that? The gun was not for him. The gun was to tell the other females, back the hell off. Y'all are messing with my meal ticket. You all might have the option of getting another NFL player, but I don't. And guess what? Earl Thomas knows this. And fellas, I see a bunch of you who are angry. I see a bunch of you who are mad. I see a bunch of you who are incel. I see a bunch of you on the internet complaining from the sun going up to the sun going down about what you can't get from females. So what you're acknowledging is the females are in a more powerful position than you. I came here tonight to bring you the game about male power and having power on your side. So that you got a whole different set of complaints. Do you want to be the guy complaining about what females aren't doing for you? Or do you want to be the guy talking about what you're getting? That's all I really want to know. Do you want to be the guy talking about what you're getting? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Do you want that? Or do you want to have Earl Thomas's problems? Because there's a bunch of you guys complaining about what your ex said or what your ex didn't do. She ain't pulling no guns on nobody to get back to you. Oh, am I hurting your feelings? Fellas, how many of y'all got a female who done pulled a gun or threatened somebody physically to get back with you? I'm telling you, it's time for you to develop a different set of complaints. He said, yeah, I got the bag, I got the swag, I got the status, and oh yes, and another thing, a lot of you fellas up here complain about the females and oh, they keep dudes in their back pocket. Earl made it known, hey, I don't keep them in the back pocket. I got so many females, my back pocket ain't big enough. I gotta have a house for them. I got so many female options, I can't keep them in a back pocket. I got to get an extra crib to house them all. A lot of you fellas are complaining about females trading you out. Does Earl look like he's worried about being traded out? Does he look like he's worried about that? You got a different set of complaints than he does. I'm trying to get you hip to the business. He let her know, hey, baby, if you want to leave tonight, I'm already occupied. Take a look at the foot of this bed. Your replacements are already here. All you fellas out here whining and moaning with the Similac baby bottle in your damn lap, complaining about Beyonce talking about me, myself, and I can have another you in a minute. Earl Thomas said, I don't need a minute, baby. They already right here. I don't need another minute to replace you. Baby, your replacements is sitting in the room right now. Would you like some tea? Baby, hey, tell this heifer over here, get my damn wife some tea. She don't like tea? What you like that? Keurig? Get my damn wife some coffee. Heifer, get up. And oh yeah, if he did that, I bet you they gonna pop to attention too. Yes, daddy. It's a different set of problems. Oh yeah, he did all of that and she didn't leave. And guess what? He wasn't worried about that happening. You all didn't understand the nature of his relationship with her. My point is, he does. You don't know the nature of his relationship with her. He showed you through his actions what the nature of his relationship is. Remember, right after it happened, she got arrested and he said, everything's fine, it's okay, don't worry about it, just respect our privacy, everything's fine. Few days later, you can see what's going on. He's not under any delusions about his relationship. You don't know what's going on. He does. And he's like, don't worry, my wife gonna be just fine. It's gonna be aight over here. What's she gonna do? Leave? I own the house. I own the car. Her bank account belongs to me. What exactly am I in danger of losing? No, for the rest of you fellas who ain't got it, who don't have anything that a female would desire, you're trying to trade on personality. He's like, damn, a personality. I got JP Morgan Chase. Damn, a personality. Oh yeah, and I ain't average. Let me tell you something, fellas. When your woman is used to buying Prada bags, she ain't going back to average. You can go to hell. She's not going back to average. That's life. If there's a female in this chat room, oh, ladies, I'm going to call y'all asses out right. Do I have some women in the chat who are ready to keep it 100 tonight? Oh, I'm going there. I'm going there. Ladies in the chat room, I want to find a female who says she doesn't agree with this. You married to an NFL player, he's knocking down 5 or 10 million a year. Are you really, there ain't a place you went from dreaming about Birkin bags to having them. Oh yeah, and you don't work. How many of you are willing to go back to the nail salon and tell your girlfriends, you know what? A nigga money don't matter. I'm strong and independent. I told him you can take this damn Birkin bag and shove it. I'm gone. I want a female in the chat room or somebody. I want you to put your area code in the chat room so you can call us up and say, Jason, you wrong. I done told that nigga you take this bag. I ain't, this bag, your Range Rover, that $3 million house. Hell no. I want that chick to call me up now. That's what I want. Fellas listening in, I hope that you're soaking up the game. I want that female to call me up now. The telephone line is open. Wherever she at tonight. I'm like, WC, where's she at? Point her out. I want her to give me a call. The telephone number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Go ahead and put your area code in the chat and call me up. I want to talk to you. I want you to call us up and explain to us of your position. I don't want the Prada, the Gucci, the Louis. I'm going back to work. I'm going back to work and getting me a job. I'd rather work at Taco Bell than to live under these conditions. I'm waiting for her to call me up. Caller from area code 215. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller from area code 215. Last try. You're on live. Okay, 215 has been abducted. Caller from 980. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where you calling from? What is going on with everybody's phones clicking tonight like this? Brother, try calling, hang it up and call back. We got too much clicking going on the line. Let me get caller from area code 832. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, how you doing? This is DeMarcus from Plano, Texas.
DeMarcus from Plano, what's on your mind?
Slightly off topic, but I wanted to get your opinion on what you think the dating life would be like for a male who wants to enter the dating pool and he's like trying to be celibate. I know some people that's like that. So, what do you think how would that work out? Assuming like he had like his finances together.
Are you saying that you're asking if a guy wants to remain celibate?
Yeah, like not have sex until marriage, yeah.
Okay, that's totally doable, and there are females who want to do that. Just remember, she's probably going to be a religious woman. So as long as you are okay coexisting with her religion, then that won't be a problem.
Okay. And yeah, it is religious. It's my
just understand though.
Brother, he's like really
okay, but just understand, the only issue with a woman's religion is usually her pastor is the highest authority, not you. So just keep that in mind. You can do it, but her pastor is probably going to be the highest authority, and not you.
Right. And yeah, like I grew up in a church, so I kind of see how that works. And usually, it would be like you would be interested in a woman, and you would bring them to your church. So it would be the man's pastor. That's how I've seen it kind of work as far as that kind of bureaucracy goes. But yeah, so I just want to get your opinion on that, and that's it.
Well, that can work. Just be aware it's probably going to be religiously based.
Right, and it wouldn't, and like there's no, I guess, foreseeable complications. I guess aside from that.
I mean, there are others. I mean, it depends. She might also be very sexually reserved, and that might not be something that you can break. So, however you meet her, don't be surprised if she's just very sexually reserved and don't want to do a lot of stuff. So that's something else. That's the way you met her.
Right.
So you might want to keep that in mind too. That's the way you met her. Don't be surprised if that does not change. Or inversely, she might decide that you are too sexually reserved, and once she gets started, she's ready to get freaked the hell out, and other things could occur. That's kind of on the further end, but just be aware. She's going to be finding her sexual habits later as opposed to have already established them. So that's something else to keep in mind.
Right, yeah, so you got to keep up with that.
If you can.
Right.
If you can.
But yeah, that's it. But yeah, thank you, Jason.
All right, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Let me get caller from area code 510. Let me see if you straighten your phone out. You're on live with the business.
Hi, this is Tracy calling from Honolulu.
Tracy from Honolulu. Welcome back. What's on your mind?
I don't agree with your statement, Jason.
Tracy, why did I figure
I don't agree.
Why did I figure you wouldn't, Tracy?
Probably because I'm old.
That's probably
I've been in
there you
go. Well, look, I kind of told you the situation with my daughter. So long and short of it is I moved from California to Texas when I got remarried. I was a stay-at-home wife and mom. I didn't have to work. My husband worked at the post office, so, government guy, steady worker. And he decided he was going to go elsewhere.
No. Now he decided whatever. He was a guy working at the post office who thought he was going to flex NFL ball player benefits. And it doesn't work that way. Now, if he had played, if he had played for the San Francisco 49ers, it would have been a different matter. You'd have been more tolerant. But he's at the post office. So, he's
at the post office.
Tracy, it is one thing if your man is trying to flex and he delivers packages. It's another thing if he's trying to flex. Let me try this a different way. It is one thing if you found out that your man is trying to flex while sitting in the front seat of your 2016 Chevy Malibu that you are making monthly payments on from your job as a teacher. It's another thing if you found out your man might be talking to somebody else while you're sitting in the front seat of your 2020 Bentley Flying Spur in your exclusive gated community in San Antonio. Those are two separate things. Can we agree on that?
If you say so.
No.
If you say so.
No. What do you say? Are you going to tell me that those are the same?
I'm saying they're the same because I know me. I guess I wouldn't be sitting in the Bentley then.
All right. Tracy?
For real.
The only problem is he didn't have a Bentley to offer. But if he did, if you were sitting in the front seat of that Maybach, and it's Maybach, not Maybach, if you were sitting in the front seat of that Maybach when you found them text messages, your marriage would probably still be together today. It probably would be.
Who knows?
Because you'd be okay.
Well, then
Tracy,
that was his bad. But I tell you what, next time I'm getting a prenup, and I'm going to be the stay-at-home wife. And I want the prenup.
Well, I would like to see the leverage that's involved with that. But Tracy, my point is, if you put 10 years into a marriage with a fella, and he's got the car, the house, the life, and everything else, you're just going to get up and abandon that and tell the other woman, here, you can have this nigga and the life? You just going to, that's it? You're going to tell her, here, you can just have it?
Yes, because I only live in community property states. That's what I did. Okay. I took half of everything.
Okay, but here's
half of everything. Okay, and he ended up in a penthouse in Hawaii because he was foolish when he should just realize it was cheaper to keep her.
Right, but Tracy, here's my issue, though. You said I got half of everything. Yeah, you got half of a postal worker's everything. You didn't get half of an NFL player. You didn't get half of an NFL player's everything.
That's true.
That's my point.
No, I didn't.
And it
still set me up.
But Tracy,
it still set me up.
Tracy, if the house was worth $2 million, and that's not really terribly expensive today, if the house was worth $2 million, you wouldn't have been able to keep it if you didn't have him. Now, if your house is worth $200,000 or $300,000,
that's true.
If your house is worth $200,000 or $300,000 for a working class woman, it's easy to say I got the house. You got a $200 or $300 house. You got an average house. Now, if you got a house that's 5 or 6 times the average price, then property taxes, you're gonna lose that house. So I'm giving it to you. Yeah, you got quote half. Yeah, you got half of a postal worker's assets. And that's
true.
But that's the reason you didn't tolerate his bull jive. It's like, nigga, you a postal worker.
Well, that's true.
Give me that damn car. That's and you were right to do that. He ain't flexing at that level. Dude, you work at the damn post office. You sort yellow envelopes. I ain't got to take no mess off of you. The last handbag you got, you had to buy yourself. And you didn't get it with something that had 2 zeros at the end of it. Now, if he was pulling that kind of weight, or if that were his focus, that's the other thing. Fellas, don't get this twisted. It's not about the income level, it's about the focus. Remember when Simba said this? She said she didn't care if you made $10,000 a year just so long as she got what she felt was hers. And from there, you can do whatever the hell you want. So she's not asking, don't answer too many questions, but just be aware of what she wants. She wants to know what's in it for her. And too many fellas don't make it clear what's in it for you. So if dude had made that the focus, I'm just telling you right now, Tracy, if you were sitting there with the Birkin.
I agree. Okay, I agree. I agree. I agree with you there. That's right. If he had made that clear, right.
If you were sitting with the Birkin and the Prada and the house, you done waited all your damn life to have this. I'll be damned if you gonna walk into a court of law and tell your husband, tell that heifer she can have all this. You done put 10 years into that. This nigga owes you a mansion. And you just gonna give it up?
That's right.
This nigga owes you another Birkin bag. And we just go, and she's sitting there hoping, she gonna just get up and walk away from it. I didn't have to, you put in all that, had to tolerate all this stuff with him, and you just gonna get up and leave? Come on now. It's easy to say that if it's $200,000 house, like, hell, I can sell this. I'll live in the house.
It is easy. It is, but I think it's relative. I think, you're talking $2 million versus 200, but it's still relative.
Right, but my thing is, it's relative to the level of benefits that you receive. Because if he were a postal worker who gave you that look and was dedicated to having that look for you, that is what you as a woman invest in. So it really doesn't even matter about the job, because you could be a postal worker and can get an $800,000 house. Now, it's going to take some doing to do that, but I'm saying is that if you entered the government workforce making $50,000 a year, and after 10 years you making $60,000, your woman is not going to tolerate no bull job off of you. If you came in making 50 and now you make, let's just say 80, and somehow you were able to get a $600,000-$700,000 house, she's gonna think about it a lot more than she does the damn root carriers or the folk in the back sorting the mail. As men, what I'm saying is that we have to give a woman something to lose if we want to flex like that. Guys, I'm not telling you can't. I'm telling you, if this is how you want to flex, these are the rules. You don't have to be an NFL player. Stop saying stupid stuff. You don't have to be an NFL ball player, but your woman must have tangible benefits that she gets up every morning. Because understand something, and Tracy, now here's the part you need to be honest about. Even in a so-called perfect marriage, that man isn't guaranteed his position for life. He's got to keep qualifying for that position every year. Now tell me, if your husband hadn't been running around with other women, that you can guarantee that if he had stayed exactly the way he was, that your marriage would still be together, even if he had stagnated and nothing changed. There it is.
You saying... Wait, I'm trying to understand the question.
I'm saying that if your husband wasn't cheating on you, can you guarantee us that with his level of performance that he had when you met him, that was enough to keep you for the rest of your life with even if it never changed?
Maybe not.
Okay, and every woman who is honest will say, maybe not. Now, she might not be able to say definitely no, but she's definitely going to have to be honest and say, maybe not. Because a woman is always analyzing and calculating, can I do better? Have I maxed out? Have I peaked? Is this the best I can get? And by the way, if you park her in a $200,000 house or $300,000 house, that's cool. Unless she meets a friend, one of her social circle, who's got something better, she is going to ask herself, well, what makes that heifer better than me? Fellas, even under the best of circumstances, your woman is always reanalyzing and doing inventory on her relationship. She's always doing that. Always. Yeah, men do it too, but I'm talking about the ladies right now. You're correct. Men do it too. As soon as you go from a size 8 to a size 16, we start saying, okay, I think I can do better. But be that as it may, ladies, you know full well, even if a guy is, quote, doing everything right, a lot of fellas think that there's some invisible bank account somewhere where we're storing up, quote unquote, goodwill. That's a damn lie. I'm trying to tell guys this. Fellas, there is no invisible bank account where you're storing up goodwill. It's not there. And a lot of guys have given into this delusion that if I paid the bills for 10 years, she should be happy with that Chevy Malibu. Why, I know a bunch of heifers.
That's what he thought.
I know a bunch of heifers who'd kill to be driving that Honda Civic you got. Well, he's right. But them chicks ain't put 10 years in with nobody. Them chicks ain't seen that you can actually get the $300,000 house. So, yeah, she would kill for it, but you've been there and done that. So if he starts trying to flex on that Honda Civic or that Chevy Malibu or that Toyota Corolla, he thinks he's going to flex on you with that. First thing you're going to be like is, hell, nigga, what else you got? I've been looking at this damn car for 3 years. What else do you have since now you want to flex? What else do you have? And that's an honest discussion to have. I'm just telling guys, fellas, you can flex, but you have to see it from her eyes. What does she have to lose? All you had to lose divorcing your husband was a postal worker. That's what you had to lose.
That's right.
You didn't have an NFL player.
That's true.
You didn't even have a $500,000 house to lose. Forget million. You didn't even have a $500,000 house to lose. You didn't even have that to lose. And when you were with him, did you have a job?
I did not know.
Okay. Are you working now?
No, I'm not working now.
Okay, is he dead?
No, because when I took what I got from him, and then I bought a house in California, and of course because of the housing, the values appreciating, I was able to stay in that and get the equity out, sell it, and then move to Hawaii, and that's where I am now.
Okay, well, somebody had to pay some bills while you were in California, and somebody got to pay some bills now. I can't.
Oh yeah, I worked for the government.
Okay, thank
when
you.
I was
All
in
right,
California.
that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so
yeah.
you did have to work.
I have 20 years in myself,
right,
just like he did.
Okay, but Tracy, can you and I just be honest? You was a cutthroat heifer, because you said, you know what? I ain't got to let this nigga cheat on me. I can just divorce his ass, take the house, take the car, take some alimony, and then go back to the work for the government my damn self. I don't have to sit here and take this off of him.
That's why he got mad at me for, I divorced him at 10 years and not at 9 years and 6 months.
Of course. Because you cutthroat.
Because he's still scratching his head.
The law.
You waited till 10 years till you can get half. You damn straight.
She sure did.
Because you're embarrassing me. He was embarrassing me. He was embarrassing me with those post office chicks. They over there telling him, "Ooh, if I could just stay home, and if all I had to do was cook your breakfast and this and that and the other," and seeing he let all that get to his head. Fellas, instead of realizing, yes, you got a woman here cooking your breakfast, hot Southern lunches, hot meals. I wasn't throwing no sandwich and a salad at him talking about, here's your lunch. He'd come home from the post office. He had hot meals, come home at dinner, hot meals, all that. And, let the little Latina girls telling him, ooh, she taking advantage of you. And he wanted to. So I'm like, then go on and have them then.
Now, how old were you when you divorced him?
I was 50. Just over 50.
You were 50 years old. So at 40, she was 40 and said to hell with it. But fellas, I want you to understand something here. I want you to understand something. This is a situation where y'all got to realize women think. Women think. Do you understand that? Women think. She went and checked the law before she filed divorce. Do you all understand what I'm telling you? She's confirming everything I said. She said, wait a minute, let me figure out what I have to lose before I leave. She didn't just say, well, let me get up and leave. She said, what do I have to gain and what do I have to lose? She did a cost-benefit ratio analysis. This nigga was slipping and sleeping on the job, and she said, okay, I can run this nigga pockets. This little old post office job, I'm about to get all the benefits from that.
I walked away with about $300,000 of his post office
Yeah, I could divorce you at 8 years, but I'll stick around for 2 more years because the law says I can really run your ass then. So I'm sticking around for 2 more years. I don't give a damn who you're sleeping with because I'm already pricing homes down in California. I'm already doing that. And I'll just go to work for the government myself. If worse come to worse. All I'm losing is a postal worker. Fellas, the females in the chat room will let you know before they try to get divorced, the first thing they mama, I don't give a damn what their grandmama did, never held a job, she'll damn sure tell that heifer, you better go talk to an attorney. They'll get the money together to get an attorney. You better go talk to them so you can find out what you can really get. Don't just sign all of a sudden her damn mama and grandmama become legal contract experts. Don't just sign the first thing you offer now. A bunch of hoes who messed up their money their whole damn lives, all of a sudden they become experts. Fellas, they think. They calculate. She's confirming what I've told you. Earl Thomas's wife was thinking and calculating. This nigga, I got a lot to lose. Divorce isn't gonna give me what I've got with him. Divorce is gonna give me a slice. It's not gonna give me what I've got with him. He's gonna keep producing. Divorce ain't gonna give me this. All that's gonna happen is he's gonna go to another team. If the Baltimore Ravens want to play with him, he's gonna go to another team and get another contract and take the benefits to another female. Because when women are smart, women take a look at how much money you spent. If you spent $3,000 on a woman in a year, do you all realize that's a salary? And she's got to ask herself, who else is going to do this? Do I want to do it? Who else is going to do this? So I better think this over. That's the way it works. And she did some calculations and she decided, you know what? I'll be damned if I'm going back to work to pay for this damn car and this house. I'm not doing it. She had enough time in that jail cell to think and say, you know what? We can work this out. We sure can. We can work this out. But I'll be damned if some other female is going to be sitting in that mansion. Or if I do get the mansion, I'll be damned if he's going to divorce me and I'm going to wind up losing it. So you know what she thought? Right. She thought the other thing. Oh, nigga, there's 2 ways of dealing with a nigga that wants to have side hoes. Number 1, clip him, either with a gun or divorce. Or number 2, tax him. Now, you did number 2, by the way. She did number 2 and then did number 1. That's how cutthroat Tracy is. Yeah. Tracy is so cutthroat, she did number 2 and then went back and did number 1. She stayed for 10 years.
Because so I was old. I don't have 40 years now to go and start all over again.
Okay, she made him start over.
I'm already overweight. I gave him kids. I already, I'm what I'm going to do now? You see, so he had to pay because I can't get back out there like that, unfortunately. Or maybe I can. I don't know.
Well, I won't speak to that because folk will be.
But I had to take all that into consideration.
Well, like I say, it's just one of those things where you understood what was going on, and she did number 2 and then did number 3. And that's good. I mean, she did number 2 and then did number 1. And that's thinking. I mean, I'm just letting fellas know, by the way, women don't just jump up and do stuff. They fool y'all into doing that. Women think. I mean, there are some who are just reactionary, yeah, but they think if your money and your status are together, and as you know, I've already explained to you, it doesn't take that much. She's gonna think it over. Now, the real thing was for him to realize, by the way, I bet you Tracy was mad as hell. She wasn't making them grits and them biscuits like she used to. He should have seen something was wrong and it was time to break camp and leave. He should have left, but he gave in to the temptation that, you know what? she'll simmer down. And he found out after year 10, oh, nigga, she ain't simmered down over nothing. He should have left when he realized this ain't right. She ain't doing what she used to do the way she is. She got a little bit of an attitude, but he wanted to have his cake and eat it too long after the cake done burnt the hell up. He should have left. That was the only mistake he made, was he stuck around when the game was already over. He stuck around and the game was already over. Well, yeah,
and the thing is, Jason, it turned out he didn't really even have anything going on the side. Because he didn't end up with any of them women after we divorced.
Well, he didn't.
So he just broke up his marriage for nothing. And the thing is, I was good and patient. I mean, that's my nature. So I was real good and patient. I mean, I was willing to go to counseling and, all this other stuff. And he was just digging his heels in. So I was just like, fine then. So it didn't have to go down like that. But you're right. I wasn't cooking those 3 square meals after a while.
Well,
Make your own sandwich.
He should have realized that was a problem. But, baby, he wasn't trying to have a relationship with them. He was trying to have what he had. Sexual variety.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. He didn't hate you. He just wanted to see somebody else naked every once in a while. That's all. He wasn't going to leave you. And by the way, you knew it. The fact that you were so cutthroat and stayed for 10 years, he wasn't leaving you. He was going to stay there. And
I know, but I didn't want HIV/AIDS either.
Okay.
I'm of a different generation.
There you go. All right.
I'm of a different generation.
That wasn't what bothered you.
I'm of the Leave It to Beaver generation.
No, what bothered you, stop that. What bothered you was that you were scared that he was going to trade you out for something you couldn't be. You can be many things in this world, Tracy, but you can't be young and you can't be a Latina and you can't be a young Latina at the post office. So you could probably compete with any other woman for something else. How you going to become Latina? How you going to become 25 years old? You were worried he was about to cycle you out, and it's like, okay, I better run this nigga.
And how am I going to act like I didn't have 4 or 5 kids, or have my body look like I hadn't already had, kids already?
Yeah, he got you.
Yeah, you're right.
He got you messed up in the game and sending you back out into the sexual marketplace while he's still tasting checking his variety. So, like I say, and by the way, I'm not hating on you about it, because I'm saying he should have known, dude. You acting like she's cool with this. Nigga, she's not cool with this. She's coming back around. This is going to come back to bite you. And he's sitting there like, no, I can have my cake and eat it too. What's she going to do? She's still with me. If she was going to leave, she would have left by now. Nigga, did you talk to an attorney to find out any reason why she might not be leaving right now? He didn't consult nobody. He's a big-head nigga, thought he knew it all, and found out he didn't. But just to keep it real, if he had given you less time or more reasons to reconsider, things would be different for him today. And I want him to serve as a cautionary tale to all the fellas out there right now. That guy is a cautionary tale. He is everything that you shouldn't do. Working at the post office wasn't the issue. Your woman wasn't getting enough benefits for you to try some of this daredevil, evil, Knievel stunt work you doing. She's not getting enough for you to do that. She's thinking right now, can I trade you in? And she realizes, oh, hell, this nigga done messed me up in the game. And I'm not going to be able to pull like that right now. So I better cash him out while I still can. And that's what she did. And by the way, I'm not even saying I'm upset with you over it either. I'm not even saying I'm upset. That's the game. If he wanted to do that, he should have put more thought into it. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving morality out of it. I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm just saying if he would have been thinking. If he'd been thinking. I'm not going to endorse what he was doing. I'm never going to do that. But just looking at it objectively, if he was going to do that, fellas, despite what any female may tell you, there's a right way to do what he was doing and a wrong way. And he was doing the wrong damn way. Even Tracy will tell you, well, I might have stayed if. Okay. Listen to what the hell she's got to say after she says if. Fellas, a Prada bag is $5,000. Think it over. Think it over.
Yes. Fine.
I'll let you have the last word, Tracy.
No. Love it, Jason. Appreciate you. You know, I've been, like I said, I hadn't been around long, but I'm sure learning a lot. And appreciate you, brother. Be one.
I thank you for letting everybody know the truth about this. Fellas, I mean, she's told you she was in her 50s and like, oh, no, I'm running this nigga pockets because he hasn't done enough to prevent me from running them. Do you realize what I'm telling you? A lot of you dumb, bubble-lipped ass, bug-eyed, baboon Negroes sit up here and talk this bull crap about if I get some money, the female is a gold digger because I got money. No, what Tracy just explained to you is that no, she's more likely to run your pockets if your money isn't straight than she is if your money is on point. That's the point I'm trying to make to you. You're thinking about this the wrong way. You're making bad assumptions because you don't know. You're thinking being broke is a protection. Being broke isn't a shield. She's letting you know I ran his pockets because they weren't big enough. If his pockets had been bigger, I probably would have thought twice before I tried to run them. And you think it works in the reverse. And she's telling you, no, I would have had something more to lose. Actually, I would have thought twice before I did that. Okay, he worked at the damn post office. You think he made enough money to allow... first of all, if he wasn't demanding she go to the gym or nothing, he wasn't really trying to hold it down like that. So it doesn't matter. She didn't let herself go. This nigga wasn't riding boss on nothing. Y'all need to stop that bull crap. These immature ass children, you ain't thinking. He wasn't riding straw boss on nothing. He wasn't demanding anything. If she was sitting at home and wasn't working, he should have been telling her, look here, along with that damn wash tub clothes, I need to see some washboard abs in this damn place. He wasn't doing that. So knock it off. No, that was his bad. If that was a priority, he would have required it. He didn't do that. So just stop with the nonsense. She didn't fall off, he did. He wasn't demanding it. If she was sitting at home, it's supposed to be, wait a minute, heifer, you supposed to look like these white women running around here sitting at home. Oh, I got 5 kids. Look here, if you think that's going to be an excuse when I leave, I can pay for somebody else to take care of them kids. Please, he was too busy saying, okay, let her sit at home, take care of the kids. I don't care what happened with her because I'm getting my sexual needs met somewhere else. He didn't take care of home first. Wait a minute, have I set up a situation where I can go out here and go do this daredevil stuff I'm doing? He wasn't trying to run nothing at the house. He's sitting at the damn post office talking about the house is stable. Nigga, the house is about to run you over. You all better wake up and recognize what's real. Caller from area code 419. You're on Live with the Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Joe. Calling from Toledo, Ohio.
Joe from Toledo. What's on your mind?
You are right, Jason. You are right. The average guy, the average man is not the catch of the day. You're 100% right with that one. When these ladies are making equal pay or more, she has more options, and it's just the truth. But like I say, I concur with everything on your topic that you're speaking upon today. And what's sad is that most people's cup of knowledge is full, and I never have a full cup of knowledge. I'm always seeking more knowledge and always pursue advancement in economic relationships and empowerment of black people. And you always push those messages forward. Thank you very much, Jason. Peace out. Black first.
Black first, brother. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. And by the way, this is the first place you all have been where men and women get to be honest with each other about what they really want. not this fantasy fiction crap we try to feed each other. This is about us discussing, what do you really want? Asking the women, what do you really want? And the fellas will sit up here, a bunch of y'all are just young and naive and dumb and stuff. Man, look here, you don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand that if you can sit up here and tell us what the issue is, that you are going to have to understand that if you can tell us what the problem is, you'll be able to tell us what the solution is. Understand, if you can tell us what the problem is, you know what the solution is. If you're an average guy, then you don't see the value in establishing above average benefits with women. That's the problem with being an average guy. Like the fellow who was talking about that earlier. If you're an average guy, then you don't see the value in establishing above average benefits. All this really creates is a bunch of frustration. I'm not in the business of discussing your frustrations. I'm in the business of explaining to you, okay, here's how you get the most. It doesn't take millions of dollars. To the women in the chat room tonight, fellas, a lot of you are dumb. You're raised by deadbeat ass daddies who spent their lives messing with fat, sloppy, STD infested hoes. You don't understand what the real is. To the ladies in the chat room tonight, I got a question for you. I've talked about this before. Ladies, I got a question for you. Do you really care how the car the guy got for you in the driveway got there? Simple question, ladies. To the ladies who've actually had a man purchase a car for them as car for them as a gift, have you ever asked yourself how it got there? Did you go looking through all the paperwork and checking credit scores? Did you do that? To the ladies listening, did you actually ever investigate that and say, wait a minute, before I do that, let me check some paperwork on this and see exactly how it got here? Now, everybody is saying no, but then you're telling me about what you can't do. Fellas, a woman doesn't care if the Mercedes is purchased or leased. All she cares about is, does she have access to it? Let me lay you down some stone cold game about this. Not what I think, not what I feel, but what I've lived. Folks, if a female sees you pull up in the car and she gets the keys, she's only gonna get offended if you ask for them back. She don't give a damn. She will literally go to work on Wednesday driving her 1999 Nissan Sentra, and the very next day pull up in a BMW, brand new BMW 7 Series in front of her coworkers with absolutely no logical connection between Wednesday evening and Thursday morning. Do you understand that? She will ride up to work big as hell. Big as hell. Without asking how it got there. And guess what? Her girlfriends, because she's going to go floss to them, they're only going to ask who got it. She might tell them you did or whatever, but that's where the discussion ends. Next thing, and God help you if it's a convertible. God help you if it's a convertible. If it's a convertible, she gonna pack all of her girlfriends in it. It's gonna be a bunch of high heels and hair weaves flapping in the breeze. You might have a lease payment of $600 a month. $700 a month, maybe. But guess what? That lease payment is absolute unencumbered cooperation. And I dare you, and this is to the fellas out there trying to tell you, you don't know about this. I dare you. I dare you to get her to give it back to you. I dare you to get her to hand those keys back to you. Try to pry them from her. I dare you to. I dare you. Caller from area code 703, you're on live with The Business.
How you doing, Jason? This is Larry from Woodbridge, Virginia.
Larry in Woodbridge, Virginia, what's on your mind?
And I just wanted to say I've been listening to you on the Black Channel and The Business for a while now. I just wanted to say thank you for all the great information that you provide and leave you with this one thought. I think people forget one thing. Every single relationship, whether it's with the people you hang out with or whether you're in a relationship with your significant other, it's always going to be some sort of a transaction on both sides. And if people actually understand the conditions that are involved in that specific transaction, I think people would get a lot more further with one another if they would just be honest in regards to those transactions.
Well, I mean, some folks use the word transaction, exchange, whatever. Men expect something. This idea that you're getting something for nothing, that you're both marrying each other or getting in a relationship with each other for, quote, personality, which is really just some amorphous term that people make up, which means it can mean whatever I want, whenever I want. No. And then you get upset when the other person flips the script on you the next day. We need to have a hard, fast, firm definition of what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman, what you expect as a man, what she expects as a woman, and then we can deal. Then we can deal with each other.
Yes, sir.
Because everybody knows what they're getting. They know what's expected of them. Without that, it doesn't matter.
I couldn't agree with you more, sir. Be one and take it easy.
Black First, brother, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Let me get caller from area code 214. You're on live with the Black Channel.
Hello?
Yes, you're on live. What's your name? Where you're calling from?
Yes, sir. This is Mo from Dallas. Thank you. First of all, sir, thank you for your time and the pushing to these callers. I couldn't do it. A lot of these, I'm 29. Let me start there. And a lot of these brothers around my age, stop fighting this logic, man. Like, you guys are up here trying to debate with this man when he's trying to give you information. Understand, if you can receive the information he's laying down, you halfway through a level up, brother. Everybody ain't listening to this. Like, y'all out here trying to complain and maintain this like coach yourself in this poverty to protect yourself. It ain't gonna happen, man. Like, well, you heard the other caller.
Brother, it would be different if they were arguing and they were showing Jason, this is what's wrong. The females don't feel this way, but they're arguing against what the women are telling you is going on. At some point, it just becomes illogical and irrational.
Yes, and that's why I respect you, brother, because I wouldn't have the resolve to keep going back and forth. Like the dude that was answering questions for questions, I would have hung the hell up on him, man. He knew he was playing.
Well, I mean,
he knew he was, because he don't want to do nothing.
I did that because I wanted you all to see where for the fellas who are saying, having that cycle going on in their heads, I want them to go ahead and play it out to its conclusion and see, are you actually arriving at an answer, or are you just sitting up here masturbating in your head? And when you talk to them long enough, you realize, hey, you're not actually really going anywhere with this. You're really just playing with yourself. That's all you're really doing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We got a lot of background audio going on there, but thank you for giving us a call. Let me get caller from area code 214. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason. This is KB from New York.
KB from New York. Which borough?
Queens.
Queens, New York. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to, discuss the topic at hand. I think that women respect men who are dominant and, more importantly, that's ready to execute. I don't think you can have a woman respect you if you don't have those traits. I mean, you can think of it as similar to going to a job interview. You know, if you don't have what they're looking for, then chances are you're not going to get that job. And I think you also eloquently explained it on one of your previous podcasts. I think it's the 4 Dimensions of Manhood, where you discussed mastering the mental, physical, emotional, and financial. And I think once men understand how to master those dimensions, they will get very far in life as well as with women.
Well, I mean, but first you have to want it, brother. Because understand, these are outgrowths of what you already are. If you're a man who is okay with mediocre levels of respect from women, then of course what I'm talking about is offensive to you. Because you're being told you have to do more than the bare minimum. Let's be honest, these guys really just want to do the bare minimum, but figure out how they can get maximum results. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work
Absolutely.
that way. You can't do the bare minimum and get maximum results. That doesn't happen. So I'm just saying, let's get back in touch with reality. Let's just be honest as men, let them be honest as women, and everybody meet in the middle. And then from there, you can do whatever you want to do. But I believe the biggest issue comes from trying to deny male nature and deny female nature. If the women want a handbag, is it really that hard? I mean, can we be real about it? You in New York City, please. Is it really that hard? They got the damn Coach building down there in Hudson Square, Hudson Towers. Is it really that hard? It's really that difficult if you're trying to figure out a way not to do it. So all I really have to ask you is, do you really want to have power with women, or do you want to have complaints? I don't want to have complaints. I'm not going to have complaints. So it just really comes down to, what is it you expect? If you expect mediocre results, keep doing what you're doing and keep telling yourself that all this arguing is going to wear women down. It's not. It never has, and it's not. The term incel didn't exist 10 years ago. It does now, with a bunch of sad sack dudes sitting around on the internet literally talking about, damn these hoes, I'm going to buy me a blow-up doll. I mean, when I was 20 years old, there would have been mass suicides if males were going around talking like that. Today, they're saying that. I don't know anything that signifies being defeated more than saying I'm going to buy a doll. But that's literally what's going on today. And by the way, I don't really have a total problem with that, because anything that keeps these guys from procreating, I'm all for it. 2 thumbs up. But it just shows you how pathetic it is. So if you don't think it's pathetic to have a blow-up doll talking about, I can do better than these women, let me get a doll. Okay, if you think that's the boss move, if you think that's the player move, well, you go ahead and do that. But for me, not having it. Thank you very much for giving us
90 seconds.
I hate you. Caller from area code 813, you're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Kenny. I'm calling from Tampa, from Fort Myers, Florida.
Kenny from Fort Myers, what's on your mind?
I agree 100% what you said about women will try and calculate what they have to lose before they try and make
60
a decision.
seconds.
Example, I was in a relationship. I basically didn't have anything, and the guy that I was dealing with was paying all the bills. And over time, the relationship, it started just getting extremely disrespectful. And I kind of felt like, okay, I should leave. I need to leave. But, how, am I immediately in the position that I am now, am I going to be able to find someone right now that's going to do all the stuff that he's doing? And so I tolerated a lot of it. And as soon as, not even as soon as, it got to the point where I said, I can't even do this anymore. But as soon as I was able to boss up and kind of change my situation, kind of okay, I'm not dealing with this shit. I don't have to tolerate it. Then it became, you acting different because you have this job now. Before, when you didn't have this job, or before your situation wasn't this way, you weren't talking all this shit. You weren't you weren't on this high-powered shit. But it's not just because of the job. It's just because I got tired of the disrespect, and I had the opportunity where you weren't going to treat me like that anymore. And I made that calculation, and I was able to do better. Now I still kind of go back and forth, but at that time, you're right. It was a calculation.
Okay, what is the disrespect exactly that he was showing you?
Well, for instance, in my profession, it was like he would go to strip club and he post a picture of him or post videos at the strip club. I'm like, you can't do this kind of stuff because of my profession. It was like, oh, you don't even have a job. You don't have a profession. You're nothing. You're just a bunch of lies. You're this age and you don't have shit. The cheating, all kind of shit. Just extreme disrespect. Really, just really bad.
Okay.
And then at one point, I caught him cheating, and then instead of apologizing, it's like, oh well, if you would have been doing what you were supposed to. No, he didn't even tell the truth about it. He lied for a long time. I'm not cheating. I didn't cheat. You went through my phone. That's your reality. You saw what you wanted to see. You made that. Never even acknowledged it. Never even apologized. Nothing. It wasn't until I was able to get my feet up underneath me, then he started apologizing, like, oh, I'm sorry. But after lying for months and months, it's kind of hard to believe that you're really sorry or believe that you're not going to do anything because you don't feel like you did anything wrong in the first place. You think I'm wrong for finding out.
Okay.
So
well,
it's like you in one
I find that interesting.
In one breath.
Because I know you're built like a stripper already.
In one breath.
And that would be crazy. So he's chasing strippers. He's already got a chick who's built like one. That was just weird. I guess too much just wasn't enough.
But this is the crazy thing. It's hard to try and leave somebody who helped you when you have nothing. Like somebody who helped you when you have nothing. So it's like you want to leave, but you still kind of want to look out for the person that helped you when you didn't have shit. I'm sorry, when you didn't have anything, so. But in my mind, I'm still like have moved on, but I still want to be able to help, or if I can, because it's not like, oh, I helped you and now you don't want to help me. But I'm like, well, shit, how much help do you need? You don't need my help. You're a man and you already have money. You were helping me out of the kindness of your heart. What do you want me to do? You want me to take care of you? Do you want me to treat you like a bitch? I mean, is that how you want me to treat you? What do you want me to do?
Well, did he get some act right?
He says that he's not cheating. He says that he's not cheating, but I don't believe it. I don't, in my heart, I can't believe it because you felt like you didn't do anything. You felt like you didn't do anything, and you threw it all on me. And then, you try and tell me that I'm not shit. This is not my profession. Oh, you're full of shit. You're nothing. You're this, you're that. But now that I have my feet up under me and I can do it without you, then now it's like, oh, you're sorry. I'm not cheating. I'm not, you're the only person I want to be with and all this kind of stuff. So for me, it's like I can't believe it. It's hard to trust that because if you really felt that way and you were really sorry, then you would have apologized when I found out. The only reason why you're apologizing is because you see I'm going to get a check. That's why.
So he's doing. Okay, first of all, you were talking about him like it was past tense, but you're saying you're still with him.
And he in my mind, in my heart, it's like he is past tense, but some shit that he does that I can't do.
But in reality, he's not. Okay.
I mean, certain things that he can do that I can't do. I can't do, and I'm not in a position to do. And he always will dangle it over my head. He's like, well, okay, well, at least you can stop talking shit until you get this done. Or and before he used to give me money all the time or whatever, and then I bossed up. I was like, oh, okay, I don't want your money, and I sent it back. And it felt good to be somebody who was holding money over my head all the time to be able to be like, I don't need your money, I got it, and just send it back.
How much money was he holding over your head?
Like I think in total since like last June, he gave me about 10 grand because he paid the rent if I couldn't pay it, then like other stuff. So he's really looked out for me. So that's one thing that I can say. He's like been really good at that. Awesome.
Okay.
He's a good provider. He's a good protector.
All right.
But as far as like the disrespect and cheating and all that shit, stuff, I can't deal with it.
Well, you know what? And by the way, I'm not afraid to tell people, by the way, I know who this is on the line. So, and she's built like a stripper. I keep saying that every time she calls up. I'm like, by the way, she's built like a stripper too, by the way. So I can see why he felt it was okay because you're built like one. However, I do want to just remind people, this gentleman who dropped the 10 G's, she's got a lot of complaints, but she ain't left him. The phone didn't go dead now. I just want everybody to know that was just stunned silence. But by the way, Kenny, you do have a lot of complaints. I understand. But you haven't left him yet.
Because it's so frustrating because
tell me can you tell me the exact part that is frustrating? Exactly what is it that's frustrating?
It's frustrating because I feel like in my mind when I was because truth be told, like he really kind of like changed my life and my situation at the time.
All right.
And kind of helped get me out of a situation that I didn't want to, that was not the best. So with that being said, I felt like, okay, once I get on my feet and I get back to my profession, you looked out for me. We're going to be together. We're going to have this family.
But
I know that you really care about me.
But you're not telling me what is it that is frustrating you so badly that you can't leave.
I think it's the lie.
The lie?
The lie.
The lie is preventing you from leaving.
Why am I not leaving?
No, I'm saying the lie is preventing you from leaving.
No, it's not that. I don't. It's because like a lot of stuff that he does, he tries to make himself almost like indisposable.
I think I don't think he's doing anything. I think what's frustrating you, I think what's causing the issue is them 10 stacks. I think that's where the problem's originating from, because you're ready to trade him in, but then you started counting them stacks and said, okay, I'll trade him in right after I get another source that will do this and that.
But I don't need his money. I have money.
Woman, I
have money now. I don't need his money.
You ain't got 10 stacks.
I'll have it in a month.
No, you ain't. No, you're not.
I really don't need his money.
Okay, I didn't say what you need. This ain't about what you need. This is about what you want. Your problems with the chicks at your job, they got dudes who sleeping with other women around them too, but they ain't got nobody breaking off 10 G's neither. That's the difference. Your problems are not her problems. Earl Thomas's wife is upset over the mansion and the Range Rover and the Maserati. She ain't upset over the Uber and the room at the Holiday Inn. Her problems are not them side chicks' problems.
But I send him money back just to say I don't, because he always tries to throw the money up. So I said, well, okay.
Okay, but you ain't got rid of him.
Money back.
But you ain't got rid of him.
What are you saying?
But you haven't gotten rid of him. No. And that's the point I'm making to everybody. Fellas, if you want a chick women are going to complain, because that's what women do. Women are going to complain. It ain't what people say, it's what people do. The question isn't, is she complaining? The question is she leaving? Because she gonna complain no matter what. You can be the perfect damn husband. You can be what's his name, Leave It to Beaver. You can be the father on Leave It to Beaver, Father Knows Best, Cliff Huxtable. You can do all that mess. The woman is still gonna have complaints. You could be a picture-perfect model husband. Women are still going to complain.
Leaving. I am leaving.
I am. Okay, am ain't never did a damn thing. Let me know when you gone. She gonna leave right after she locates another source that's gonna keep her the way she wants to be. I'll be damned if she's gonna leave this fella who can break off 10 G's like it ain't nothing and get with a dude who works at Circle K talking about, can we go 50-50 on the meal at Chipotle? You ain't doing that.
No.
Okay,
I'm
but he's perfectly
not
faithful.
I'm
But he's
definitely
perfectly
not
faithful.
doing that.
But
No.
he's perfectly faithful to you. So he's like, baby, I can't give you 10 G's, but I can give you all of my heart, all of my soul. I'm perfectly faithful. She'll be like, bring me back the unfaithful nigga with the 10 stacks. That's what I'm trying to do. Let's just keep it 100.
No, I'm not.
The reason
I'm not
she was
trying to do that either.
You were fronting like you had left this man. In reality, she's like, well, I want to leave him, though. But no, it's benefits.
I am leaving him. I am.
Baby, if you don't stop lying on my damn phone, if you were going to leave, just like Earl Thomas's wife, if she was going to shoot, we'd be hearing about him the way we did about Steve McNair. If she was gonna bust on him,
well, what about?
We would be reading about Earl Thomas killed, not Earl Thomas confronted. If you was gonna leave, you'd have left by now. You ain't going no damn way.
That's just like Tracy. She waited until she had the right opportunity.
But you're not married. There's no right opportunity. You're not married. What you're getting from him right now is the best you gonna get. So what more are you going to get from
him? He's moving my stuff.
Okay, you can call 5 guys moving and get your stuff moved. What else you got? All right, thank you. He's dropping them dollars. And you know damn well the only reason you threw the money back at him is because you know he going to bring some more. That's all. If you really thought that throwing it at him was going to prevent him from ever paying again, you never would have done that. So you was just throwing a little tantrum. He ain't taking that seriously.
You're right. I gave it back to him because I know but at this point, I don't like the fact that he thinks that I'm supposed to, it's almost like, like you have to contribute.
No, but you just know that somebody.
I don't like that.
Okay, but you know that somebody has got to pay for them Tory Burches and them thongs you wear. And it's not going to be you. If you have any say about it, it's not going to be you. So she's just waiting on somebody who can do that. As soon as she does, old boy is charged to the game. But until then...
And you're right. You're probably right. You're 100% right. You're right.
Somebody, she's being practical about it. Oh, she's unhappy. Don't get me wrong. She's unhappy. But then again, women are always complaining. They're always unhappy. Y'all just gotta live with that.
No. If somebody cheats on you and they don't see anything wrong with it, then I think that's if somebody cheats on you and the only reason they apologize is because you're financially stable, then that's a character flaw.
Okay, but if that was the situation, if that was what he's concerned about, then you wouldn't have any problems now because you'd be telling me about how he's a model citizen today. But clearly that's not the case.
Yeah, so I mean, matter of fact, we're just, it's like it's always a fight, and it's always over the same thing, and it's like, when are you going to get over it? Well, evidently, I'm not going to get over it. So
I suggest
that just means why do we have to fight about it?
She's gonna get over it when he offers another chick them 10 stacks. Then she gonna be like, okay, I'm over it. As long as he keeps treating her like she's the only place that he's willing to invest in like that, she gonna keep throwing these tantrums. But as soon as he shows her, you know what? All right, you ain't over it. Let me see if somebody else need 20 G's. Not 10, but 20. Then she gonna be like, nigga, what you think you doing? Because fellas, understand something. A woman will get angry if you sleep with another female. She will kill you if you spend money, more money, on another female.
Not true, because I tried to leave and he keeps trying to beg me to come back.
Fellas,
begging to come back.
A woman will be upset if you sleep with another female more than her, but she will try to kill you if you spend more money on another female than her. Let her come home with the Tory Burch and catch a picture of another female with the Birkin. Let that happen. She will try to kill you. And I'm not being hyperbolic. She will try to murder you. If she feel like she gave you, quote, her best, and all she got was the Coach bag, all she got was the Tory Burch, that's all she got. Somebody else has got the Versace and the Prada and the Birkin. Oh, she's going to be like, oh, you got to die. You've got to die. I don't want to hear. All of a sudden, she ain't complaining, ain't no fighting. She just, no, I'm just trying to kill you. That's all. I'm just trying to kill you. She's not going to take that. That's not going to last.
Well, I will say this, that you're right about most everything else, but not about the fact that I'm still trying to stay around.
Okay.
But everything else you're right about.
When we having this conversation in 6 months, you tell me if I'm wrong then too, okay?
Okay.
Tell me if I'm wrong then too. Thank you for giving us a call tonight here.
I will.
Hit the wrong button on that one there. Hit the wrong button on that. We'll try to get that fixed here. This thing is upsetting me to no end. Fellas, the ladies who've called up have just confirmed what I'm telling you. And any female says otherwise, they telling you what they gonna do. Ain't leaving nobody. What they gonna do. Well, I'm gonna leave him. All right, keep believing that. Oh, I'm gonna do it at some point. I'm gonna leave. I ain't doing it right now, but I'm gonna leave. I mean, he dropped 10 G's. I'm gonna get around to doing it. Well, help her get to doing it then. Y'all know it's like fighting. While you talking, you ain't swinging.
Hello?
Now, is this DJ Trillist?
For sure. Yeah, DJ.
Oh, good. I was wanting to know, how do you know my previous caller personally?
I don't know her personally.
Okay, because you were in my chat room talking about she lying, she making that up, and I want to know how you know her personally to say something like that.
Well, I just said she lying according to what she was saying.
Okay, and what was she saying?
I was speaking on only what she was saying, and I was only speaking on when she was trying to say that she was, the guy was disrespecting her so bad, but she's still with him. So that's why I said she was lying.
She was telling the truth.
She was telling the truth.
Yeah, because you and another couple of lames were in the chat room talking about she's lying. No, she wasn't lying.
So I'm a lame.
She was telling, nigga, you a lame. She was telling the truth. You don't know her well enough to say what she's lying about or isn't. Now I do.
I'm a lame.
Now I know. Now I do. I know her well enough to say that, but you don't. No. So I wanted to know what authority upon which you were speaking to know this, because I know she's not a stranger to me.
I was using logic based off what she was saying. It sounded like it was made up. So what she was saying was she was talking about the guy disrespecting her so bad, but she's still with dude. So that's what I was speaking on. So you can call that lame all day.
No, I'm saying it's lame to say that somebody you don't know personally is lying about something. That's lame to say that.
Well, based off logic,
it is.
If that's lame,
yes, that's lame.
I don't know what
that's
you're
lame.
Speaking on.
Yes, that's lame. It sure is.
Okay.
It sure is.
That's a new version of lame.
You've never seen me go anywhere and say to somebody I didn't know personally like that, who you just heard them for the first time, for me to say anything that they're saying is, quote, false, a lie, or false, or made up, or something. I don't talk like that. It's like, okay, I don't know them well enough to say something like that. I really don't.
Okay, so if I sit up here and say
I didn't say she was
that
lying
I'm gonna leave somebody, and knowing and all that other stuff, and he's so disrespectful and all this kind of stuff. And you sitting up, we ain't even got to that point yet. I'm just sitting up here talking about how somebody disrespected me so bad. I'm just sitting up there taking it like that.
I was on the phone with her. And I didn't say that. I was on the phone with her. I was disputing what she was saying, and I didn't talk about her like that. by the way.
You even in the end, you know, saying she needs to stop lying and get off the phone.
I disputed it. I didn't sit up here and talk like that, and I know the details.
Okay.
And I didn't say that. Now somebody
you
who
said
know,
the same
somebody
thing.
who knows
It
her
took you a little
personally
bit
can say
longer
that.
to get to the same conclusion that I figured out when
No,
she first started.
I just don't talk about people I don't know personally as if I know something personal about them. I just don't do that.
Now I was just basing it off what she was saying. That's all I was talking about.
you and the other
so
guys
I
were
don't
basing it
understand
on
how
that.
I could be lame when I'm basing something off basically what they were sitting up there saying. It just took you longer to get to the same point when she ended up more explaining herself on down the line. It was the same. It was just took a little bit longer. I just heard what she was saying a little bit faster in the chat. So y'all can say what y'all want.
You heard it a little bit faster, so you were faster than everybody else.
No, I'm not saying I'm faster than anybody else. I'm just saying I heard what she was saying a little bit quicker. I caught on to what she was talking about a little bit quicker.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Trillist, I know you. Have you had anything to smoke tonight? Anything?
No, I haven't had anything to smoke. I stopped smoking.
Just between you and me. No, I'm not.
I stopped smoking, man.
I'm not beating up on Trillist. I know Trillist. I'm not gonna act like I don't know you.
I'm just telling you I stopped smoking, man. I stopped smoking like 6 months ago.
Trillist, have you called into me before?
Yeah, I called in the past. But for you to sit up here and
Trillist, stop. Pump your brakes.
Nah, go ahead.
Pump your brakes,
Nah,
dude.
go ahead.
Trillist, you have called me up before. You called me more than once. You've contributed to the program.
Yeah.
You contributed to the program, have you not?
Yes.
Okay, I don't want everybody thinking he's some stranger somewhere. I'm establishing your credentials, am I not?
Yes, man.
Okay, so he's not some stranger who just fell off the banana boat from somewhere. I'm making sure about that. Yes, I know Kenny, but I know Trillis too. I know my people. Everybody's like, oh, really? Yes, I know who he is. He didn't just show up last week. And that's why I've got to make sure I nip this stuff in the bud. Dude, I need more of y'all to listen on this. I really do. Even if that's the way you felt about something like that, I strongly advise you all don't do that. Because the only way that I am very, very reserved when I use the word about folk are lying. I'm very reserved about that word. Because that word means something. She was not trying to be deceptive. Now, if you meant she was being dishonest with herself, that's a different matter. I don't think she's being dishonest with herself either, based on what I know. I think that she wants to believe that this isn't really what she wants. Or, no, she wants to believe that she's not really going to accept this. And what I'm saying is, it's not a matter of what you're going to accept. You've already accepted it.
I understand that part.
It doesn't matter if she feels it in her heart or whatever. You fighting with it, but the reality is you've already accepted it. It's not a matter of me getting to accept it. You've already accepted it. I just want us all to be on top of the table and straight up about what we've accepted.
Well, you know, if I could write a sentence in the chat, I would. But you know what I'm saying? I was just trying to get straight to the point when I said what I was saying. So yeah, I probably should have waited a little while and just said around the same time when you was telling her, look, she needs to stop lying to herself about the situation. But you know, by me trying to say it in the chat, I was just basing it off of the way the conversation was going. So if that, like y'all want it, folks want to say it's lame, they can say whatever they want. But you know what I'm saying? I've been around, you know what I'm saying, talking to plenty of different people. And when I heard certain things in the conversation, yes, it's a group chat type of thing. So I was just speaking in terms of that. So,
Trillist,
you know what I'm saying? Maybe I said it too early. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, I shouldn't have said it at all. And I do agree with what you said.
If this was anybody else other than you, Trillist, I would be roasting them right now, and you know that. Now, you know if it was anybody other than you, I'd be roasting them right now. But I'm not doing that. Am I lying? Yes, I said lying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you would have to roast them because they'll be trying to debate you. You know what I'm saying?
No,
but
I didn't
I'm
say
not
that.
here to debate.
I'm
not trying to debate what you saying. What you saying?
I didn't say that.
You know what I'm saying? You got liable reason to say what you saying.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying if it was somebody.
So yeah, you would be roasting.
I'm not saying it was somebody debating me. If you were debating me, it'd be the same thing.
Well, more than likely there'd be, you know what I'm saying, there'd be debate because they would have been sitting there on the defensive trying to defend themselves about some conversation about something that was commented in the chat. And I'm not going to do that because what you saying is on point. But not as far as the lame part, just as far as, yeah, I shouldn't have spoke on somebody who I didn't know, and I shouldn't have spoke too early. I could have waited till it got to the point where it was clear and then said something. But I didn't do that.
Well, I'm giving DJ Trillis is the first person on the business that I've ever extended a pass to because it's him. Now, if it was anybody else, it'd be different. But it's Trillis, so I'm giving him a pass. I don't want nobody messing with him. Got it? I mean, in the chat room. I don't want nobody messing with him. I asked him to call up. I asked him to call up. He called up. I asked him to call up. He called up. He's straight.
Yeah, anybody in the chat, y'all got plenty to say in the chat. That's all y'all can say is stuff in the chat.
Don't do that. No, don't do that. You're safe. You're okay.
All right. B1, man.
Black first, brother. Fellas, I got a real thing about that. And DJ Trillis is my dude. Don't get me wrong. He's my dude. Don't get me wrong. He's a stand-up character. I don't want you all to get that wrong. He's a stand-up character. I wouldn't ask him to call in if he wasn't, especially if it cost me money for it. Let me get caller from area code 337. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Khaled from Lafayette.
Khaled from Lafayette. This will be a gas. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir, man. I don't understand how a lot of the guys don't get the concept of not being average, man. Just every day, you know, pushing yourself forward, man. You don't have to actually do a whole lot, you know, for women to see that, you know. So what do you got on that? Like as far as inching your way versus doing nothing at all, you know, it's still better than doing nothing. You get what I'm saying?
Well, look, I mean, average is not a condition. It's a choice. It's a lifestyle. Everything he does is average. Right. It's not like he's got above average intelligence but below average income. It's not like that. A lot of folk get confused about that. It's not like he has an above average work ethic but below average ambition. It's not like that. How you do one thing is how you do all things. So if he's aiming for an average life, it's going to bleed in everything he does.
Right. And you know something I did, JB, when I ride with my woman, I listen to biographies or listen to audiobooks about Steve Jobs and people like that. That way, you know, I can let her hear what, you know, a conqueror does, and now I'm forcing myself to go out and do the same thing. You see what I'm saying? That way I'll put the pressure on myself, because if you hang around with people that's average, you know, you're going to be average. So even if I don't know these people, David Goggins and, you know, all those great men, I at least try to listen to them, and I make sure I'm listening to it around my woman. That way, you know, she can compare me to that guy, and I'm forced to go out and do something with myself. You know, and if more of us, you know, just move in that direction, man, you know, the women would respect us a whole lot more, especially whenever we're bringing tangibles,
well, that's
you know,
true.
while we're doing that.
That's true, but, you know, you have to do it yourself, though, man. You have to do it yourself.
Right.
You have to do it yourself.
Right.
So, I mean, first and foremost, you know, we have to be the change we're looking for. I know it sounds very Obama-like, but, you know, we lead by our example. Don't worry about the rest of the world. Because the truth of the matter is, you know, the fact that there's more frustrated fellas today than ever is proof positive that the wrong way don't work. It never has and it never will. You're going to do it the right way or you ain't going to get it done at all. That's just it. You're going to do this the right way or it's not happening. Those are your options. That's it.
Right.
So we don't have to worry about anything.
And,
It's really about proving something to ourselves, not to the rest of the world. It really is.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. If I'm listening to this show and I get offended about something, I don't bitch about it. I just go out and do something about it. Whenever I heard the first business or one of them, you were talking about the line from a producer or the jerk matrix. And, I've seen how much the jerk is supposed to make, in order to have that attitude. So I'm like, all right, let me go out and conquer a little more. And, that way I can afford to be that jerk, and, it's working out well for me, to be honest with you.
It's really about, do you want to have control with females or do you want to have complaints? That's all it really comes down to. Do you want to have control? Do you want to have power? Or do you want to have complaints? Now, there's a realistic way in which you can get power, and then there's a way in which you get complaints. That's it. If you want complaints, go literally tune in to pretty much any other YouTube channel and you'll hear complaints. If you want to know how to fix the problem and make sure it stays fixed, then we're going to have adult answers for you. A lot of folk ain't ready for that, but it is what it is. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. I'm going to take one more phone call here. I don't want to go on too long tonight, but caller from area code 202, you're on live with The Business.
Hey, man. What's up, Mr. Jason Black? How you doing, man? It's the Buck Horse from D.C.
Black Horse from D.C., what's on your mind?
Not Black Horse, Buck Horse.
Buck Horse from D.C., what's on your mind?
Man, you know what, man? I'm listening to your whole conversation, man. I want to let you know, man, that I appreciate you so much. It's a lot of different things that's actually really going on with them people, too. And I love the Black Panthers. Ain't no question about that. I ain't got too much to say to you, man. I just want you to know, man, that I love you so much, man. You the man. You hear me?
Well, thank you very much for the support, brother. We definitely appreciate that, and please do give us a call again. I'm a firm believer that so much of the frustration that happens here comes from the fact that individuals, as men, you want to assert yourself, but you have not been taught the right way to do it. And furthermore, you haven't given yourself permission to do so. Power is not given, power is taken. And as a man, you are not a man if you are not powerful. You're just not. You're just not. And that's what's frustrating you and upsetting you, is because you feel, and rightfully so, that the females are rejecting you on the basis of weakness, but it's correct. Now, this is what you do about it. I'm not upset with Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas presented you with a profile in power. You notice I wasn't upset with Ciara. I'm just calling the skullduggery stuff she's doing for what it is, but she's exercising power. She leaped from Future to Russell Wilson. Well, Earl Thomas is showing Ciara is leveraging what sexuality she got left to improve herself in the game. I'm supposed to get upset with Earl Thomas? I'm telling you, you guys are so used to seeing males lose that when you see one who's winning, you can't really recognize it. That's the point I'm trying to make to you. You're so used to seeing men lose, when you actually see someone who's winning, you don't recognize it. Understand that. This is a profile in the exercising of power. If you're not interested in exercising power, it's going to bleed over into everything you do. In the chat room, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Passing on problems. You don't have any problems if you're focused on yourself. These are things that take care of themselves. You're talking silly. Mo money, mo problems. You're talking silly as hell. Mo money, mo problems. There is no passing over problems with women. You're going to have problems. If you're successful, you're going to have problems. That's the way it works. Get a clue. $5 extra. Here's a clue. More money, more problems. That's the way it works. What you gonna do? Be a coward and run from every damn thing? I'm not telling you how to run from problems. I'm telling you how to resolve them. You don't get that. Is there a way I can run from it? Nigga, I ain't selling Nikes. I don't help you run from problems. I help you resolve them if you are interested in resolving them. But if you see that as a problem, go right ahead. I'm about resolving problems.
Thank you for using.
You're going to have folks sitting up here trying to give you trouble no matter which way it goes. Are you set and prepared to fix the problems? Ain't nobody going to have sympathy on you for that. Nobody. Oh yeah, and if you haven't, let me tell y'all something really, really basic before I get up out of here. If you can't master women, then we'll be a damn fool to think that you're going to master business and finance. That's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. If you don't have power in all areas of your life, I'd be a fool to think you're somehow going to perform some alchemy and you're going to have power at business and be a lame at every damn thing else. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It's holistic. I already said that. It's holistic. Jason, can we stop talking about the women? Okay, and understand something. Women are a canary in a coal mine. I know this hurts your little feelings. Women are a canary in a coal mine for a man. If women don't respect you, most likely people in business don't respect you either. They're not separate. If the women don't respect you, folk in business probably don't respect you either. You can't separate the two. You're not going to be able to separate the two. I don't want to talk about these women like that. Okay, so you don't want to talk about being respected. I respect myself. Okay, that's called masturbation. Might as well get that blow-up doll. I don't want to talk about it no more. Why? It makes you feel uncomfortable because women demand tangible results. Guess what? In business, we demand tangible results too. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. You're correct. You can get women without flaunting money. I'd like to see you keep a quality one without it. That's probably not going to occur. But if all you want is sex, you can find some scummy ass heifer who'll sleep with you and won't ask if your whole life is together. Yeah, you'll find that. That's not hard. You can find some scummy ass heifer for whom your finances don't matter. I don't know if you'd want to keep such a flea-ridden bag, but yeah, you could get that. You sure could. Absolutely. The problem most of y'all have is y'all are tired of sleeping with these tick-infested, flea-ridden hood rats. Some of y'all are like, okay, well, I'm tired of that. Can we do better? Yeah, you can do better. These are the rules. These are the rules. Now go listen to somebody else tell you that you can be average and still have it all. Go talk to somebody else to sell you that lie. All it's doing is making you more frustrated, more angry. Go find somebody else to feed you that lie. I ain't gonna do it. You're grown-ass men, I'm gonna talk to you about reality. I'm not gonna feed you any lies. If you're new here to the business, welcome. We do this intermittently. You want to click that red subscribe button and click that yellow notification bell so you can be kept up to date on what we're doing here. If you haven't joined our Patreon, which is the private community where we hold a lot of my programs at here so that we can get away from YouTube's meddling with what we do, you definitely want to join that as well. A lot going on, a lot coming up. Can't wait to show you that as well. If you haven't signed up for it, you don't know what you're missing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business or your business will handle you.